death near every day. I do not fear it. Oh, come and take me, but let me ride once more this day. I trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when I'm given one, I don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my sword and my mercenary band. We trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when we're given one, we don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my sword and my mercenary band. I've made a home of the winding road, traded my living for wanderers' woes. Feet on the earth, head in the clouds, I walk the world alone. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Back home there are farmers and blacksmiths galore, but out in the world I can be so much more. I've met mages and fae, I've met soldiers at war, and set eyes upon distant shores. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Some say that I'm foolish, some say that I'm bold, to brave the dark forests, wild beasts and the cold. But I choose to roam in ruins of old and sing of their stories untold. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. My journey shall never end. I live the life of the mercenary. I live by blade and shield alone. I do not settle, love nor marry, lest I leave a widow alone. I trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won,
welcome to episode 9. Yeah, episode 9 of Campaign 3, the Stormcaller's Fury. Before we do jump into everything, I will have to remind you that, as you can see, our beautiful wheel spinning that I haven't updated yet on the screen. You can grab yourself a mystery dice pack if you haven't already, and we will announce our winner after the break. So not just yet. I believe Cardiff won last week, from what I remember. Yeah. And then if
Dice
you need
Goblin.
some extra dice on top of that, you can also grab 10% off with code WYRD, which is WYRD, over on mysterydicegoblins.uk. But last we left off was a massive, very long combat session. You guys had met a series of soldiers on their way south of northern Nivalir. It seemed like they were headed towards the Spirewood in order to help the warriors of the Guardian, who were securing the hell portals that were opening near the Shimmering Pools, as well as using those portals to jump across to Ixalora, where they could be helpful in the war. You met various people, as well as the mentor, who was the teacher for our Dreamwalker, Kalinthar, and gave him some indication that perhaps everything might have gone to shit a little bit, but they had righted the ship, and the warriors of the Guardian were keeping an eye on it for now.
No pressure.
No pressure. The soldiers were encountering a small problem with the river, in that some mercenaries were holding it ransom, potentially poisoning it. You weren't too sure, and they needed access to the river in order to refuel, resupply, and also give to their horses, which a barrel, did a bit, but not enough. You went and talked to these mercenaries, who revealed themselves with a not so much interrogation, because of some insane dice rolls, to be former priests, and seemed very shifty and cautious of the clerics and the paladin in your party. Seemingly they were very afraid of anyone following a holy order. You went and investigated a goblin and discovered that that goblin had been poisoned, and surmised that these mercenaries were also poisoning the earth after talking to them. One of them did repent upon Persephone asking him to go about and return to his more priestly, faithful ways, but was then betrayed by his mercenary gang, who killed him, and it resulted in a very large fight with 16-ish combat. Afterwards, we leave off now, just as that combat ends. You're all bloodied, exhausted, breath panting. Keenan is currently unconscious. He is not dying, but he's very much covered in blood and is stable. Take it away.
Without knowing, because she knows that she doesn't have any spells, but she doesn't know that Nim can heal him, she's just going to walk over and sink to her knees next to Kozar in front of him. She's just going to be poking him, being like, I don't have any spells. Can't. What am I meant to do? It's like poking it with a stick.
Yeah, Nim will walk over and be like, it's okay, I have a little bit, and she'll put a hand on Keenan's shoulder and just give him 5 health points and be like, I can't do much, but you should be
better than nothing.
Sneaky buddy, you're awake. Thought I was going to be left alone to creep in the darkness for a minute then.
That was so rough.
That was rough. I think I need to trade Persephone in for you, Nim. It's my new best friend.
You definitely need to thank
Yes.
Persephone because she is the reason that I am alive right now. So thank you, Persephone. Thank you.
She like gives you like a little casual shrug. Whatever.
He looks over at Persephone and winks.
She's like, I will stab you.
If it comes with healing, I'll take it.
Stop trying.
Good. I was gonna say, don't stab him now. We just got him back.
Stop trying to replace me. Stop it. Not okay.
He could never replace you.
No, I'm the best.
No.
I don't know why I said that. I'm just tired. I'm pretty sure I have probably the most HP, but I'm still tired. We should get back. Do you guys want to loot these people? I know that's what you guys like to do. I don't, but I'm not going to stop you guys from doing it. I'll just look away. La 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 la, don't know what's happening.
Yeah, they might have healing stuff on them. And he'll start looting.
Yeah, I'll give you a hand as well.
Persephone wants to
Okay.
look for the. You said they had a barrel or something like that of more of the rot potion stuff.
Yeah, so they had a crate that they pointed
Yeah.
to with the rest of the poison in it. So Keenan, roll me an investigation check with advantage, because Kanan's giving you a little bit of help. And then another investigation from Persephone to go have a look at the crate.
Yep, my +0 to investigation.
So that's a 15 on my investigation.
I was just double checking. Yeah, it is +0. That's a 14.
Keenan, you find 350 gold amongst the collective bodies that are spread all around. It takes you quite a while to sift through, you and Kaelin. But you do sort of collect that amount. You also find a ripped page from a journal that seems to be taken from what looks like a priestly library. What languages do you speak?
Yeah. Last week. Hang on. Common, Elvish, and Gnomish.
Yeah. So you've got a what looks like a poem or a passage. You have no idea what language it's in. So you can't quite understand what it says. As well as a ledger with a bunch of letters. A lot of them are just updates on things. One of them says the rot is not complete. The earth resists, but only barely. And it seems to be a note from whatever chemist has been producing this version of the rot. You also find a bunch of handwritten orders from what's known as the Brass Worm, indicating that shipment of the poison is due to be delivered to several villages, including one that you know serves as a hub for Northern Nivelir's food supplies.
Okay. I will share all of that with the my party members.
Can any of us read the thing that he couldn't read?
Yeah,
Are you
probably.
showing it around?
Yeah.
He just said he was going to share it all, so I just assumed.
Does anyone speak deep speech?
No.
No.
Zephyr, probably.
The one that's not here.
Well, then no, none of you know what it says. I would go as far to say Kalanthar knows what language it is. Deep speech is used in a lot of drow culture. It's also representation for most cultures that lived underground, a lot of them close to evilly inclined creatures that tend to lurk beneath the earth. It's linked to a lot of conspiracy in the world, as well as during the Sundering War was used for messages amongst the opposite side. This, however, does look to be like some form of worship in some way.
We should still hold on to it. Maybe we find someone who can use it, who can read it, I mean. Do I find the crate of stuff, by the way?
Yeah, so you do find the crate. There's not many vials left. There's only 1 or 2. The rest seems empty. You find a map that shows a lot of hidden paths through the Ramblemas Hills. A lot of paths that aren't usually on most maps. You also find another ledger, links to someone named Lise Van Dor. Seems to be a trader in Dulrum.
Okay.
While people are passing that poem around to try and see if they can read it,
Mm-hmm.
Keenan's going to count out the gold and give 50 gold to each person.
Thank you. Yeah. While he's doing that, can the 70 take the he wants to take the vials that are left.
Okay.
And she's gonna hand one to Callan, and she's gonna say, if it's going to be used by anyone, it should be probably used by someone I trust, not to poison the land with. But the other one I want to keep so that I can see if I can find out how to reverse it, reverse engineer it.
Maybe we have a bit of a group project. Take it from science and faith.
She's like, for some reason, she gets like all flustered at the idea. She's like, oh my god, that's cool.
As
so
you
cool.
go to put it in your pack, Kozar stops you for a moment, and he takes out just a very long piece of material. It could be, he might use it as a scarf sometimes, or a cloak, and he wraps up the vial and then hands it back to you.
You're worried
like
it's gonna break and I'm gonna put my hand in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's smart. I didn't think of that. And then she goes, yeah, I fall over a lot. Makes sense. And she puts it in.
Dip your hand in, just see it slowly dissolve.
Jesus.
Oh god.
I mean, Weaver. Jesus is not here. But Weaver is. Oh, my Weaver.
The only body that Keenan hasn't searched is the apparent leader of these mercenaries, as he fell slightly away from the rest of them. So he is still there, and if someone wanted to, they can go and have a look.
Was that the one that was betrayed?
Yeah.
The one that repented? She'll go over to him. Not to loot him, but she'll go over to him and she'll start looking around for something that she can dig a hole with, because her whole thing is giving people burials that deserve it, and she'll think he may not have been a good person, but he was going to be. He was going to repent, so he deserves to lie at rest too. So she'll start looking, maybe even starts trying to dig herself like a fucking crackhead, like clawing at the ground.
Yeah, easy to do. You can create a shallow enough grave to put someone in it. It's not great, but
No, it wouldn't be.
it
Or
will
maybe
do.
she'll probably use her shield as well, trying to claw some more out. And then
I'll wander over with my buckler and just like start like punching into the ground to try and help out.
she'll ask. She'll be like, "You guys, while I'm digging, feel free to look at his body. I'm not. I won't do it. I'll look away."
Keenan, maybe you.
Trying to resist the urge not to do like an autopsy and just scar people now.
Oh my god,
I must know how he works.
he's a
Maybe-
person.
Maybe we should check and see if like he had like other teams that were poisoning the water. Like, are these the only people doing it?
I mean, this journal that I found says that it's not complete and that there's going to be deliveries elsewhere. So I'm guessing there might be other teams of
Yeah.
people doing that. Does someone give me a hand pulling all these bodies together so we can burn them? Because we don't want to really add rot to
Oh, yeah.
things.
I'll
Yeah, sure
happily
thing.
do that.
As soon as I'm done helping dig this grave.
Digging,
Sure.
digging, digging. No one's
Keenan,
gonna loot
as
him.
you are helping out, you do notice on that one body that you didn't thieve,
Mhm.
there is a brooch where his cloak is that seems very familiar to you. As the only reason is because you rolled quite high on your investigation. It's a circular thing made from obsidian and polished silver. It depicts a partial eclipse with chains woven around the edge to represent the moon.
Very cool.
You have seen someone else wearing this. None of your companions, obviously, currently. But there was a teacher that taught you way back, much like the mentor taught Kalanthar. They were known to be a little bit out there in terms of their own worship, and it was unusual. And he was looked down upon quite a lot, but it was said to be very important. The only name that you got from this person about the brooch was the sigil of the Harbinger, which in your young age you took to mean maybe an omen of ill will or oncoming doom or things like that.
And casting my mind back, what was he teaching me? What were my lessons?
He was one of the professors that your mother insisted would teach you. He was never from any esteemed university, and he would teach you a lot of ethics and life lessons. He would often force you to confront your own ideals and perhaps some of your personal bias on the world. He was the first person that made you realize that there was a lot of life outside of Siltharis for you to go and see.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so where a lot of your teachers would depict history as they knew it and how it was written, he would force you to perhaps try and see everything from all angles, and you were never sure what he taught. There was never a subject. You would just have classes with him.
Got you. Kind of like philosophy, ethics.
Mhm.
Got ya. Dodgy teacher.
Yes. His name, because I know you're going to want it at some point, was Professor Galad. Like Galahad, but without the H.
So Galad. Okay. I will keep that knowledge to myself for now.
How dare you? That's fine. I didn't make a note of it, so I'll forget anyway.
That's such a mood.
Was it in there?
But I will take the brooch.
Okay.
Stephanie doesn't even notice. She's too busy digging a hole.
By that time, Persephone has dug a good enough hole to roll that person in. And then you said you wanted to burn them?
Burn the others, yep.
Yeah, so you build a good enough bonfire to serve
Yep.
as something.
I'll pour some
Are you
lamp
sure
oil
there's
over
no,
them
like-
and just set them ablaze.
You're sure there's no poison on them? Just double checking.
There is a black smoke to the fire once the bodies are on it. A very acrid smell of both. Reminds you of pork and also a tainted, singed hair.
Disgusting.
It's just not. It's not nice.
It's like warfare.
Yummy.
Jesus.
Mm.
And after a while, you take the hint that perhaps you've done your job. You could head back.
We should head back and inform them of what's going on and maybe see
Yeah.
if they've got some clerics that can, or know of any clerics that can go back down the river, because I think this is going to prove more of a problem for them as well. It can't be something that relies on just us. We can't.
Yeah, it's
It's a
Yeah.
widespread issue.
Maybe
I-
we start a trust of some kind.
What does that mean? I trust you.
Gather a group of people and let them know about it and spread the word.
Is that what trust means? I thought trust was like, you know, I believe you won't kill me. Is that not? Do we have different meanings of what trust is? I don't. Am I being stupid? Bear in mind, I have a +0 intelligence, so she genuinely doesn't.
Probably not the best word of me to be depicted there, but you get my point.
Allies. Is he trying to say some allies? Is that what we're trying? Is it allies? Friends? We gotta make some friends.
A
Sorry.
protection group.
And we're
of
gonna
evil.
try.
yeah,
We forging a gang?
a group of people with a common purpose to get rid of the rot and the poison.
I can get on board with that. But how do you create one of these trusts?
Well, you start with somebody you
laughing at me.
trust.
Alan,
That's
you're
so
big
stupid.
boss. You're big boss lady. You trust your big boss, bitch, right? Not that she's a bitch. I've just heard people say that in a good way. You know, like, oh, she's a boss
Like in a
bitch.
boss bitch way.
Yeah. You want to do? Shall we tell them?
There you go. You're already thinking along lines of how to start a trust. Perfect.
Well, you said choose someone you trust. I don't know
Yeah.
anyone, but I'm assuming that he trusts them.
I love how this is developed into a massive thing. It's lovely. I love it. This is our version of the door, but just in a conversation.
Pretty much.
From my experience, humans are quite good at forming a group of people with a singular mission.
Do we
Isn't
know
that
any
normally called an
humans?
army?
She's like looking around.
It's
None of us are human.
It's like,
Do we know any humans?
I suppose I'm probably the closest.
Because they don't live very long, they kind of like pass on the mission, and it becomes like a little bit like religion. Do you know, like how like you've got sacred things about the Weaver that are passed down?
Sure.
Like the missions passed down.
I know exactly what you're talking about. She has no idea. No fucking clue.
Persephone, roll me a history check, please. Oh, actually, no. Roll me a religion check. For religion.
You're not gonna like what it was. You're not gonna like what it was. Do I have a +0 on religion too? That's gonna be really embarrassing. No, I have a +2 on religion. So 5.
My religion's higher than yours.
Persephone, everything you learned about the Weaver, you picked up from listening to drunk people.
Yeah.
Mostly priests and there were some really cool warriors that you thought it'd be cool if you could join them, and then you realized like they were all about battle and honor, and that sucked. And no,
Yeah.
fuck that. So a lot of talks with clerics as they buried people. You would sometimes observe and felt quite comfortable watching the whole ceremony of seeing someone go, and in a bit you do understand in yourself who it is that you follow, but in terms of passages and
No clue.
doctrine and the writings of the Weaver, yeah, you're oblivious. I don't think you maybe heard one poem, and that was about it.
Yep. She quite literally left home. Well, was forced out of her home, and then just heard the name Weaver and said, "That sounds cool," pretty much. And she just kind of got on board with it. She's got no clue. She doesn't know how to be a cleric. Not really.
Which I love, because Keenan will assume that she does, because we'll have read about loads of different religions and tenets and stuff. So, like, she's just assuming she has this knowledge.
Like, yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, 100%. I agree with
Like,
you.
do you remember this passage? No.
I would even go as far to say that the clerics that Keenan knows who follow the Weaver are one of the most exalted and respected people in his culture. Aside from Kithrali, they would be akin to reverence in Siltharis. So they hold a lot of power, and you are, in his eyes, one of them. Ironically.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, that's cool. It's you can see she's like puffing out her chest. She's trying to like act normal, like she knows exactly what's going on. We should go. Let's just leave.
Hey,
Let's stop
Flowers,
talking about holy stuff. Yeah?
why do you look like a pigeon?
Car, and then she starts walking away. Because I'm a druid at heart. Car.
Yeah, and then she'll just leave. She's just already walking back.
Just embarrassing herself further. Callan needs to go tell his boss bitch what happened.
You mean my
Wait,
senpai?
no, wait. You can't tell your boss bitch. We didn't know
Yeah.
boss bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was pulling up my hair.
She up and flew off, didn't she?
Yeah,
It's-
she flew in. She disappeared into the clouds.
Gonna get abandonment issues now.
We need to go just tell. Let's just go tell the.
She had to
The
leave
people in
because
charge
her
of the
people
army.
needed her.
Yeah, let's just go tell the captain or whatever. Whatever his title was. Did I write it down? Who knows? Probably not. I did
Don't
not.
worry about it, Seth. Just look for like the most self-important looking person
Well,
there.
I've spoken
and
to him.
speak
I
to
know
them.
who he is.
Are
I've spoken to
you
him and I gave it to
talking
his
about the
daughter.
captain?
Yeah, I said captain, but I wasn't
His
sure if that
name
was his
is
title.
Harold. He is Captain Harold.
He was like, yeah, let's go see him. Let's go tell him everything that's going on. That we fixed this problem. And that
This problem isn't really over because there's more of it.
Surely you can dispatch a few troops.
I know, like, we want to go and party in. I want to say
wanna
Hopper
go
Duke, but it's
sleep.
not Hopper Duke.
I wanna
Hopperduke.
sleep.
But do we think we need to do something about like this village, which is like distributes food all around and is going to be
Well,
poisoned?
I think that's something we should talk to the captain about.
Yeah.
And if he can't, then we'll have to.
Yeah.
Who knows? It might be on our way, for all we know.
As
Oh,
long as
that'd
we
be a
get
weird
sleep in.
coincidence, wouldn't it?
I'm just not tired.
You don't say.
Hmm.
we go? So then
Yeah, we're going.
going for a nap.
Hey, cool. Hey, cool.
Keenan should be the most desperate
mm.
for a sleep. I'm just saying.
He's surprisingly chirpy.
Yeah, it's only like mid-afternoon at the moment. Maybe 1, 2 o'clock.
Okay, let's go.
But you lead your way back to the encampment. Very easily found. It's quite large because there's about 200 people. Various tents and pavilions once again. Standing roughly in the center, you do spot the quite steady, stoic-looking man with a slight protruding stomach and a very bushy mustache, who you remember as the captain.
Steph sort of points him out to everyone. And he's like, come on, let's go. Chit chat. Chin wag.
Nah.
Just like holding
Oh,
the
I think,
vial and, like, whirling it round and just like. Ooh.
Since Roke made the deal, I think.
What?
Oh, sorry, Kozar.
I was like,
He's
what's wrong with
back.
Ooh.
That was intentional.
It's like they don't look similar at all. If you'd have said Dawn, I would have understood.
Stephanie, I'm sorry I keep getting your exes mixed up.
She's just deadpan staring
See,
at you. Like,
Kozar like leans over to Kaelin and is like, "Who's Roke? Was he the guy that rescued us? Me. You know, the one that died."
Yeah. Unfortunately, bit the end of a double game on that front.
Persephone's gonna immediately interrupt and be like, I'll have you know, he likes them blue, and I like them green. He wasn't green enough. And she's like,
Oh,
not that matters.
You like
I
them
need
green?
to go. And then she like turns around again and just walks straight towards the captain.
She likes them green.
He wasn't lime enough for me. Need a bit more citrus in my life.
Kaelin, do you think she means like envious people or like actually green people?
Judging by how she acts around you, I'd assume the color, mate.
Shut up.
Yes. I mean, okay, cool, yeah, cool.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Anyway, I'm gonna go talk to the captain, and he just walks off.
Stephanie's literally done the same thing. She's like, yeah, nothing, and walked straight to the captain. So he's just right
Just bump
behind
into
her.
each other. Oh, sorry, I've got that deal with the captain. I don't know if you wanted to.
No,
you
no,
go.
I didn't
go
want
ahead.
to. No, you go. No, it's
that's
fine.
fine.
I don't
That's
know what I'm
fine.
talking about. No. You get you.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
But
Just it's fine.
okay. Hello, sir. The captain is just stood there watching this all go on. A little bit of a wry smile, but just a very blank, waiting to see what is happening. Him and Kozar talk a little bit. He does hand over 150 gold for each of you.
Damn.
But he hands it to Kozar.
She's
obviously.
gonna notice and be like,
And Kozar's
Share the
like,
wealth.
just
share the wealth.
tucks them away for a minute. Gives him the
Yeah,
rundown
okay.
of what happened. And as he walks back with Persephone and the captain, it does seem like Kozar has implied that you did want to talk to him further, aside from being paid. So they do join you.
I think maybe there's only one person here that's particularly good with words, and you can all assume it's not me. And she just turns and stares at Keenan. Her whole body is pointed at him.
Yes. Our esteemed second in command, Persephone,
Oh,
said that we should make you aware that while we have sorted out the local poisoners and dealt with your issue there, there are further issues going on where poison's being delivered to other villages. Primarily, the one I think you should be aware of, and he pulls out the journal, is this village, which I believe is a central hub for distribution of supplies. But yeah, up and down the river, they've been doing this.
if
I'd
you
give it a
have-
while before you water your horses.
if you have any clerics that oh, show him the thing, and she is hitting.
I'm not
him
showing him my
with-
thing.
No, not your thing. The
It's not
thing.
normally
the
an issue,
thing we
Kaden.
can't
Like, you love
read.
it. You love putting
The
on a
thing-
show normally.
Guys, the thing we can't read. If you have any.
Oh right,
clerics
yeah, that.
or-
And he pulls it out.
Ah, you guys raised my blood pressure.
What is this meant to be?
You can't read it either. Okay, put it away. It's fine. It's
No,
nothing.
that's black speech. I don't speak that.
Yeah, neither do I. But what I'm saying is, if you have any clerics, that can help with this rot, then I think that needs to be maybe not your main priority, because you guys have a goal. Or if you can point us in the right direction of someone that can purify the land, because that whole river's going to be tainted.
Oh, we have
It's for at
some
least 10
contacts.
years.
I'll send word to the council. I'm sure they'll use some, probably those people from the tower. They're a strange bunch. I don't know if you're aware of Kiraman, but good lord, they're weird.
Yeah.
And then just looks, and as he's like talking, he just happens to pass by Pipkin, and he's like, I mean, I didn't mean like weird. My apologies,
weird.
dear lady.
Good weird.
Yes,
It's,
like
it's fine. She hasn't really been paying attention.
But yes, we'll get some people out to purify the water. I'll send some scouts to all the different villages to make sure everything is okay, and perhaps I'll send a group with you over to this town if you don't mind. You haven't told me which direction you're going in, so I'm not too sure if it would be in the same direction as your journey.
Oh, that's good. Have we decided where we're going next?
I think the general consensus is we were still going to head down over
yeah, we were still
to
going
the
the same-
dwarves
Yeah,
because
same
the
way.
Spirewood's been handled by my good old
Okay.
mentor.
I wasn't sure whether you wanted to visit the Spirewood.
Check in.
I would love to go, but I think we have other things we need to look into first.
Yeah, what do you want to do more? Get your weird glove? Or save your girlfriend?
Oh, there's definitely one that I'd prefer. As he like just starts twiddling the scarf in his hand, just like holding it up.
You see, Zephyr has been standing at the back, and she sort of pipes up like, "I kind of want to find my mum. If that's okay with everyone."
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I can wait. It's fine.
So yeah, so we're gonna head towards the dwarven peoples.
Oh right.
No.
Do any of you have a map that I could mark it upon for you?
With the map that I picked up of all like the you said it had like all the extra hidden pathways on the map. Would it still be on there, or is it just a localized map?
No. So yeah, that one is a localized map of the
Okay.
Bramblemist Hills. So you would be able to navigate your way through them a lot quicker. But it is only of that sort of region.
Okay, but is the town on there, or is it outside of the area?
It is not on there, as far as you can tell.
Okay. She will not show him that then, and she'll just ask if anybody else has
What?
it. But also, wouldn't your people know where to go? You said you were going to send a group with us, so even if we don't have a map, they'd be able
Yes,
to.
but if something, forgive bad happens, you'd still want the direction in which you're going, right?
Yeah, but 1 second. And Keenan starts rummaging through his backpack and like, we've picked up loads of different maps
So
from different
many maps.
places and like tries to find one that would be appropriate.
I'm pretty sure.
Keenan's
As
the
if
only one
by
that's very
fate,
faithful.
the town, the quite large town that he marks, is a town called La Cellelle. It looks to be about halfway between where you are right now and the Dwarven Kingdom.
Nice.
And as he's sort of marking that off, gives a little wink to Kozar. And he's like, so, do you have any preferences as to your escort? Would you like any particular skilled... would you like more people with armor, or do you want to go unseen, or how would you like to...
She's gonna
The scouts
in
of the
armor.
six something. The group, you know, the group that we came in with.
Yeah.
And you see,
Persephone's
for a
also gonna
moment, he
point at
just
Keenan,
like, there's like a moment where he's confused, and he like his eyebrow raises, like he likes that idea. He's like,
Oh well, that's not good.
well,
We're doing
that
him
is
two
an
favors.
unusual request, but safe to say it would be great if they left the camp for once. And he leans over. You see a scraggly-looking lieutenant with a clipboard is waiting on his every word, and he's like, "Could you go get Scaraf and the others?" And he's like, "Twenkus?" And he's like, "Yes, and Twenkus." Oh God, that man. And scuppers off.
Feel like
So,
we're doing two favors.
Aside from that, the only thing I can wish is the best on your journey. Obviously, the scouts will have their own things to do and messages to deliver, so they will most likely camp with you when you're on the road, and should you meet a town, they will separate themselves and you can go about your business. They aren't spying on you, they're just there. So
Well, I didn't
you
think
have
they
some
were
back-
spying on us until you said they weren't spying on us.
Well, you know, given that, and he looks at Keenan for a moment, given that you have an elf amongst you of pure blood, they tend to be very paranoid. So
I'm an elf.
I've had enough
I
of
think-
weird things today. I don't
he
need.
prefers the title slut, but you know that's fine.
Again, whatever you want to get up to is your own business. I'm just here to get my army to the Shimmering Pools, in one piece.
Got you. Before we leave you in peace, just so that we can kind of ready ourselves for the onward journey, can you let us know whereabouts, like in your camp, where your followers tend to make camp, or where we can find them? You know, those people that do your laundry and your prostitutes and your...
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
every standing army has a group of followers that provide these services.
It
The
is
the
strangely
general
correct.
sort of
Funnily enough, I believe the name that I can't remember, the Scouts of the 6th Northern Nivellir Battalion Royal Guard, I believe
Not even a chance.
Twenka said that he wanted to, quote unquote, go find something to eat, or someone, haha.
What?
I believe they should be down there anyway, so it's, and he points all the way to, like, the outskirt of the camp, where you see a little bit more well-constructed, larger tents that aren't well looked after. In the sense that they were once very opulent, and now they're covered in mud, and they don't often get cleaned a lot. And he's like, just points over that way. It appears that is where you can get some food. You can drink if you are one of the soldiers. Usually they'd have a certain amount of rations that they'd be able to use. A lot of the time to avoid potentially drinking bad water. A lot of soldiers would drink a very watered down version of ale, or those who would be on the seas, so not these guys, but those who would be on the seas, you would know would drink something called grog, which is essentially just rum a load of water, and then citrus to cure scurvy. So things along that line. You know that you could probably go help yourselves. He does seem pretty amenable to you just leaving him alone, especially now that one of you have declared that apparently you're a slut, which is neither here nor there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Excellent.
points off that way.
Excellent. I'll start making my way over there. Above table question, DM.
Yes.
Lassilil
Mm-hmm.
triggered something in my brain. Was that part of the message that Who gave to Zephyr when he was saying like he did some scrying? I think like it's familiar for some reason.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That I
Just
remember.
checking my brain.
It could have happened. I don't know. I'd have to go and read my notes.
It was an errant curiosity.
The squint.
Yeah. I'm gonna make my way over there because where you can find all the fun stuff.
Stephanie's
Do
like
the-
on his heels behind him, walking with him.
Okay. As you're walking along, Keenan, you set off quite a ways ahead of a lot of the group. You do look and expect to see Pipkin right there, you know, going for a drink as soon as she can.
Mhm.
She's wavering more towards the back a little bit. You do have her, because I just checked your passive perception. As you're checking that, you look to the other side and Kozar's right next to you. And he's just like, hi, and continues onwards. So it's one of those like, oh, and he's like, nodding.
Love that.
And you reach this sort of vast higgledy-piggledy, almost a market-esque vibe of just tables, and there's some people roasting a boar, and the various different stalls that you would purchase things, but it would be purchased using like tickets that you earned from your rations and things like that. So there's no actual currency going on. They're paid by Northern Nivalir to have this service, and then the tickets are done to make sure that they have rationed enough to keep them going throughout the journey.
You know what that means? We're not eating their food or drinking their drinks.
And as you get there, you're just immediately amongst a variety of some a little bit more drunk than they probably should be, but most are just sitting around talking, shooting the shit, pretty much.
Awesome. Keenan will look for a fairly central place to kind of deposit everybody, so that we can always find each other there. Probably somewhere that's serving strong alcohol. And then kind of stereotypically wander around, look around for the less than legit services going on.
Okay, yeah, roll me a perception check.
Mm-hmm. That's 19.
Yes, you quickly do spot a little bit of gambling going on, which isn't illegal, it's more just frowned upon. You see one man is collecting a bunch of letters from people, whereas most of the time their letters would be read before they're sent out to make sure. See a couple of people underhandedly giving bottles rather than mugs of ale that you assume might contain some spirits. Aside from that, not a lot else other than some ladies who might or might not have been paid to join other soldiers, alongside a variety of different races, sexes, a couple of people you don't even know what gender they might be, only that they're kind of hot and you're not too sure, and then it does drag your attention away, and then fuck it, turn it back. there's a couple of people. They're writing on a board with a bunch of names. You slowly decipher that, because you've rolled a 19, that this is a, not to say anything Marvel, but a Deadpool. It's a bet of who will die first. Aside from, yeah, I think you'd see a lot of various different illegal goings on. So if you did want to find something in particular, I'm sure there would be a version.
Excellent. So he will start by like joining like a gambling party. You know, maybe lose a couple of hands, whatever, integrate himself, and then kind of like make inquiries of who to approach to buy some off the shelf interesting stuff.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage for that. Everyone else, what are we up to whilst he's off? You do see him mosey on, start playing some games. You know enough about him to know some of his tricks by now. So when he loses the first couple of hands, you're like,
He's
here he goes again. Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, Stephanie's gonna go over to Hallen. To everyone's surprise, they are not besties. And she's gonna say, "You're a decent hunter, so am I. Being that we're above table, being that we're both outlanders, we can
bit
find
outlandish,
food.
you might say.
And these people, I don't want to take food from anyone else.
Yeah, I'm down for a bit of hunting.
Yeah, you want to go with me? Go look
Yeah,
for some,
sure.
see if we can grab some stuff.
Probably good to get my eye in. I haven't been using my bow as much recently.
She's like, I've still got my crossbow, so
Yeah.
but I mean, even if it's not live food, we can just see if we can get some fruit, some berries, anything, just anything that's
I'm
not
sure we can
rotten.
rustle. I'm sure we can rustle up some stuff. We might have to walk a little bit further afield.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we should just get stuff for us rather than taking from. Like, if they're only allowed a certain amount, it feels wrong.
Yeah, provide our own heat.
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah, I'm down. I was going to look into this rock poison a little bit.
Go do whatever you want first.
There's plenty of time for both. I think it's probably best we work on it at the same time anyway, because there's going to be some stuff I don't recognise.
Okay.
So we'll do the hunt first. Make sure we got enough food to fill our bellies and keep moving, and then we'll have a look at that later on.
Okay.
No rush.
Cool. Cool. She feels like oddly comforted by like their interaction. She's like, oh, that was quite nice. We don't talk very often.
So there
We're
is
about to go bond.
a lot of there's a couple of trees and things like that. There's mainly hills and grassland. So there are animals you could hunt, and together you go off and find something.
Cool.
So I can leave that down to you guys whilst you're off
Ooh.
finding whatever you deem would be worth it. That just leaves Pipkin and Nim.
Yeah. So I think Nim would be like looking in the market, kind of browsing a little bit, kind of having half an eye out for like healing supplies, because she's very aware that went very badly for them. And is like, Persephone's gonna keep running out of spell slots. Like, we need
I
to
love her so much.
get some way of like helping this.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
Make an investigation for me as you're moving around.
Okay. That is a 10.
You do find someone who is selling healing potions. Whilst they are scarce, a lot of the time in general warfare, because it does take a lot for them to make, and it also costs quite a lot in terms of when you think about D&D parties, a lot of you have like thousands of gold, like easily more than a year's worth of what someone gets paid. So they're very rare, and not often used a lot in warfare because it would be numbers a lot of the time that they're fighting with, or magic. But you do find someone, and they will cost more. They're 75 gold rather than 50.
Okay.
You would be able to find some very basic healing potions.
Yeah, Nim will be like, can I get 2 of these? She'd be like, I'll pay you 80 gold each. Like, she feels bad about taking them from like an army, but she's like, we need.
Sure. Yeah.
So she's gonna give them like extra to kind of make herself feel a little bit better about the situation. And then she.
Yeah, Pipkin is sitting at one of the tables. She has somehow procured just a single mug of ale, and she's softly sipping it, but not really drinking it. She's sort of staring into it, and she just seems sort of out of it. She's not engaging in revelry, or she's just very absent-minded and very quiet.
Nim would. Sorry.
Make me a perception. Make me a perception check.
All right. That is a 5.
Okay.
Sorry, a 7.
About 15 minutes go by of you just sat there thinking, ruminating on all of the events. What is on the forefront of her mind, do you think?
She just sees the end of the battle. She remembers looking down at the last person she punched down. She killed his concave skull, the blood on her knuckles, her white knuckles, the bruising starting to form around it. Keenan on the ground, Kozak covered in blood, both his and others, and Persephone tending to Nim, and she is just... It's like mental tinnitus. It's a constant hum of dread that is filling her mind.
You feel a soft but very large hand touch your shoulder. Kozar has been sitting there for a good 10 minutes. And
didn't see you.
Don't quite look like how you'd expect them to, do they?
I don't know what you mean. Who, exactly?
Dead people. You know, the ones you kill. You always expect them to, I don't know, some form of satisfaction out of it, but it's just very hollow and empty.
I don't know. You lot seem to handle it well, I suppose. I don't know. I'm just a little winded still from the fight. It's nothing. Jesus. I never imagined to see someone's face like that. To see them bend the other way.
If I'm truly honest, it never leaves you. You know, some people deal with it in their own way. Some people revel in it. Some people drink.
Well,
some people can't sleep. It just you'll find your way of navigating why and if and how.
Yeah, I'm sure. What if I'm like just not cut out for this guard thing? What if I can't protect who or anyone, really? I mean, we nearly bit the dust there.
If I had a copper for every time I almost died because of Persephone, I would be, well, out of a job for one. But look, I think you're focusing on what you can't do, and you haven't realized that you were chosen. I mean, becoming a bodyguard to an archmage is pretty impressive, even when, you know, someone as young as you.
I guess so. I don't... This helps, actually.
Talking? Yeah, it's weird that.
We don't really do that at home, honestly.
Wouldn't really know what that's like, but talking with your found family is much better than sticking with the ones you were born with. So maybe just, I don't know, Persephone's a good listener when she actually stops babbling for once. I mean, they all seem like they have consciences, which is usually pretty great. So I don't think you're alone in the way that you feel. I think it's just more compacted and more new for you because it's all happened at the same time.
Yes.
Like, if you think Keenan has it all put together, then you are joking yourself. That man is like 2 gray hairs away from a nervous breakdown.
But he looks so put together. I mean, he looks like he's seen the world 1,000 times over. I've just, I don't know, I feel like a grain of sand.
Do you know why? Is because he has confidence in not only himself, but the people around him. Which is all you need in life, to be honest. It's, people think you need power and you know, the best weapon or magic that can annihilate a city or things like that. I've always found it's people around you, so...
Well, I guess it helps to have these guns, and she pinches him in his upper arm.
Not compared to your cannons.
My what? Oh, you mean
I
my
mean
arms?
your arms.
All right, no, it's
yeah.
I
Sorry.
get
no,
it. I get it. No,
I meant, you know, because you said guns and
yeah,
yeah,
it's
doesn't quite.
not.
Yeah.
I'm flattered, honestly, but you're not. You know, you're not really my type, honestly.
Yeah, you're the wrong shade, unfortunately.
Oh, right. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for this.
It's alright. Yeah, it's fine. You want another drink, or because I stole these tickets from this real asshole near the front.
Maybe yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Cool.
need a drink. Yes,
All right.
actually.
Because like Keenan's over by the bar, and I'm pretty sure he just scored like an entire bottle of rye. So we're gonna go over to him, and and also maybe get another bottle. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's
'Cause
do that.
I need anything else but this orc shit that won't leave my flask, and he's like shoves it. And Keenan, you are joined by Pipkin and Kozar as you watch him hand over some tickets, and he's handed a bottle very similar to the one you have. It's you both got some form of rye whiskey. It's potent and it tastes like crap, but it tastes different than the orc shit. So you know, swings and roundabouts.
I rolled a 21 on that persuasion. And I was after 2 things: the strongest bottle of alcohol I could get.
There you go.
And something, quote marks, to improve stamina. Above game, something that will improve strength or speed for a couple of rounds or something. Just like A performance enhancer. That's what I'm asking for, whether I
You
get
are-
it or not.
Yeah, no, you are offered 2 things. One is called Cinder Dust, and you are told it will not only enhance your awareness, your speed and agility, but also sometimes makes you uncontrollably horny. It's like all rubbed into one. There, you can't have one without the other. The other thing you're offered is a very simple potion that's said to increase strength.
Awesome. I'll take both.
Cool.
How much do I need to pay you?
Let's see. Let's find out. Where's my percentiles? Let's give it a numerical. That is 83 gold.
Awesome. 83 done. And then seeing Pipkin and Kozar join him, he's going to pass the alcohol across to Pipkin and say, there you go, palate cleanser for your brain.
Thank you.
It helps.
Thanks.
And it doesn't go help completely, but in the short term gets you over the immediacy of things like that.
Yeah,
So
I'll manage.
you have a potion of hill giant strength, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is cinder dust, which if you ever use it, I'll let you know what that does.
Cool. Thank you very much. And then
Shortly,
yeah,
you all sit down at a table. Nim joins you, having purchased your healing potions. And then a good hour, maybe 2 hours later, slightly wet, a little bit mud-coated, Kalen and Persephone return. Kalen has an entire deer on his back and just swans in. And you see all the soldiers just like, there's like a stop in the crowd and they all just look at him. And then go back to it. You see a couple of people do swarm around you and they're offering like various different tickets for a leg. Or like one offers for like, can I have his antlers? Because you have
Antlers maybe, but
yeah.
The meats for the feast tonight. Any leftovers we'll distribute after.
You guys have your tickets. Persephone's gonna like speak up and be like, "Oi, you guys have your tickets for food? We got this so that we didn't take your food. So don't take ours. Respect, okay? If we have any left, once our people are fed, you can feed too."
I was thinking about making some jerky or something, like drying some out.
Oh, never mind. I take that back.
Yeah.
Snacks sound good.
Might take a bit of time though. Depends how long we want to stay over a fire. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's just focus on getting food ready for.
Yeah, let's get a nice little food coma going. I think we could all do with a good rest after the last couple of days. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Gods, yes, and you hear her being a little bit muffled by her mug with whatever shit is in it right now.
Yeah. It's been.
Part of me really wants to like see if I could like do. I don't know what the check would be, but see if I could make Pep like when I skin the deer. See if I can make Pipkin like antlered like helmet to use if she wants to use it.
Ooh, I would need I would need a survive.
Could I help
I would
him if
need,
it's a
yeah.
survival?
So I'd need someone. You would have to skin it, and then someone would have to create it into that object. So it would be a survival check to skin it, and then a performance to see how well you can make that object. If anyone is proficient, they can help you.
Yeah, I'm proficient with survival. That's the only reason I offered.
Yeah,
There you go.
as
So you
well.
can-
And yeah, once you've done that, if you help me fashion it into a helmet.
No! I rolled a nat one.
Oh.
Don't you
It's
get
the thought that counts.
don't you get advantage with
Do I
help?
get advantage? for that
Yeah,
or
if she's
not?
giving you
not
the
with
help
help?
action,
'Cause,
you
yeah,
get
I'm helping
advantage.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I get advantage if it's Fae Fiend or Undead, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't count. Oh, come on, I
No,
rolled
it's
a
a
2.
deer.
Are you kidding me? I went from
Oh.
1
Oh.
to a 2. So a total of 6.
I should have done it. I have a plus
You
6.
get some fur that's usable. Unfortunately, the size of the fur, maybe you could make like a bracelet or
That's
like a
helpful.
brooch.
Oh, friendship bracelet for
Can we-
Pipkin.
Can we just take the antlers?
Like he's in the way that he's tried to carve this apart. He's like cut parts of the antlers off
Oh yikes.
that are now like cracked, like shattered another piece. Yeah, so you'd have enough to make something smaller than just a helmet.
Is
Well, can I
there
make, like, a
enough
little
to make
flower
friendship
crown with it?
blankets for everyone?
Oh.
I
Just
would
like thin
say
strips.
I would say I would say if you roll your performance,
Because I've got
anything
ribbons, too,
above
that I can
20 will count as an extra bracelet or brooch or whatever you want to make it.
Okay. Can you help me, Seth, with your ribbons?
help. I mean, yeah, I've got a bunch of ribbons that I'd be willing to help with. If you want to make friendship bracelets, I can give you these.
Get
and
in.
It's just
That's a 24.
Yeah, so you make
Nice.
one thing for Pipkin and 4 other bracelets.
You should give them to Pipkin so that she can choose who she gives them to.
Yeah,
Because she can
that
give
was the
them-
plan.
Maybe give one to Who, save one for Who, because they're best buds, and then she can distribute them how she wants.
God, you're gonna have to make me choose.
No, it doesn't have to be
we
between us.
we
It doesn't
can always
have to
make
be
more.
us. It can be whoever. It can be all the people in the tower. It doesn't have to be us.
That's a nice idea. I'll do that. Yeah, I would give you all if I could.
Okay.
Yeah, my hands were a little bit shaky.
This is really sweet. Thank you. This is so nice. Thanks.
Stephanie's gonna grab like an extra ribbon, and she's gonna like start braiding it into her hair as well, just to add a little bit of extra. It's gonna be like purple ribbon to match Persephone's hair, match Persephone's skin, and she's gonna be braiding it in to your hair as well.
She is not used to general grooming, if I'm honest.
Neither
So
she. It's fine. Neither is Stephanie. It's fine.
Neither is-
We're in the same boat.
Like her hair is just a wild bush of curls, of ginger curls, and it might take you a little bit of effort to untangle some curls to actually braid it, but she does.
If there's anyone
She's
that
not
can do
used
that,
to it, but she does
Stephanie.
really love it. Weirdly, she's kind of like she gets more and more relaxed. She's been a little bit more relaxed after her talk to Koza, but she's getting a little woozy from the booze, and she's calmed down, and she's enjoying this little moment.
So cute. I love that.
Can I add a tiny thing? As Persephone's dealing with Pipkin's hair, Keenan will deal with Persephone's hair.
My hair's braided. Callan braided it for me.
That's true,
On the
actually.
way
It's
here.
still my
That is
job.
true, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
In that
that's
case, he
right,
won't.
motherfuckers. I look human. Well, not human. I'm a tiefling. I look
presentable.
presentable. Yeah. I don't look like a homeless man today. I look groomed.
I love
Nim,
how the
like-
two outlanders that live in the middle of nowhere just bonded over braiding their hair. It's just.
Nim
Sorry, go
sees
on,
that
Nim.
Keenan, like Nim sees that Keenan is like looking at Persephone, like wanting to join in, and she just pipes up with like, "I can try and braid your hair if you like."
Keenan's hair is immaculate. Despite dying, he looks immaculate. Like it is like strange.
Yeah.
Like it's some weird magic. But he'll start braiding your hair because this is a slumber party now.
Also, as we're all preparing our little deer feast, Pipkin will cast Purify Food and Drink, which will purify all non-magical food and drink and render it free of poison and disease. It's kind of like a habit she has from her youth, so it's not something out of suspicion or paranoia, but just, you know, like saying a prayer before food. She does it. Purify food and drink.
Better to be safe than sorry. Let's be fair around here.
Exactly.
Smart.
Make sure that everything's all good.
Now we only hope that it tastes good,
Yeah, it helps against disease, but if
not flavor.
the food's shit, it's still gonna be shit. It's just gonna be free of disease.
Burn it, it's burnt. It's
Exactly. I mean, I'm pretty
Wait,
good with cooking.
I got used to scraping the black bits off. It's fine.
With us, you're gonna have to. Seth is going to look at Kozar, and she's gonna say, "So that gold you pocketed, that he paid all of us for our job, you wanna share the wealth?"
Flowers. I really hate you sometimes.
She's like, "You love me. Come on."
What?
As a friend, like
Oh,
friends,
right.
like friends
Yeah.
love each other.
Yeah.
That's
No,
not
no,
weird.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Sure. Yeah. And then reaches in, hands the gold out to all of you.
Awesome. Keenan will, since he sat with Nim, help her pick off the black bits and then cast prestidigitation to flavour up the meal.
Beautiful.
Oh,
And you will begin to tuck in.
God.
After a while, that warmth of alcohol and food, and you're tired and exhausted from the events of the day, and it does slowly bloom in someone's mind that where would you sleep?
She's gonna go sleep with the horses. What's happening? She's just gonna go jump into the thing and go sleep in that.
I'll find myself a nice little tree on the outskirts to perch myself up in.
At the top, yeah.
Pipkin will just have fallen asleep, leaning against whoever she sat next to, whether that's a
In that
random
case-
soldier or someone of the party. Doesn't matter.
If she fell asleep before Seth, I feel like Seth being the mum friend that she's kind of told herself she is, even though she's definitely not, he would take her with her. She'd like pick her up and carry her to the horses and sit in there.
Easily, she's
her in the
dead
carriage
asleep.
with
She
her.
won't even wake up.
Yeah, she'll just sort of go in the carriage
So
and
cute.
sleep with her there.
So cute. Keenan will grab the nearest soldier and bed up with them.
Oh my god.
Make me
I
a
think Nim would
persuasion roll.
also go.
We would
Make
be
me a Riz
surprised if he
check,
didn't.
Keenan.
A Riz check.
Yep.
Yeah, Nim is also going back to the carriage.
The Riz is a dirty 20.
Damn.
Yeah.
Plus 9 to charisma, man.
Describe unto me the person or people that you choose to spend your night with.
It will be someone fairly androgynous because they're still in battle gear. That would probably be sitting by themselves for quite a bit, or the quiet friend in a group. and he'll just kind of like make friends with them, and then kind of
One thing led to another.
one thing leads to another. Yeah.
Pick the captain. That is a DC 100 thing. Yeah.
That'd just be hilarious.
You will wake up in the morning. Some of you in the stables being softly nuzzled, this velvety heat on your face as a horse wakes you up. The others who slept in the carriage, a little bit uncomfortable, but enough to allow you some peace to get your rest. Keenan, add 5 temporary hit points on for me. As you wake up, very relaxed. Very relaxed. However, as you're coming out, there is a large tent opposite, and you watch as Kozar sort of steps out, adjusts part of his tunic, and gives you this weird, like, morning, and moves off.
That weird thing where you walk in the same direction but don't speak to each other.
Yeah. The only thing you see on that tent is, it's like a soaring hawk or an eagle, some form of bird that you can. It's very worn and scratched out a bit, but it's like a hawk or an eagle, clutching a sword as it flies. And
Guys
you
just
will.
walking in awkward silence.
Yeah. The others have already met up, and they're sitting at this bench, sort of talking amongst yourselves as you watch Kozar and Keenan join the group. You will benefit from a long rest, by the way.
Keenan is gonna lock eyes with Persephone and do like a subtle kind of like shake of the head, as in, no, it wasn't the pair of us, but it's just gonna be like a
Persephone,
just a message for Persephone.
Persephone like didn't assume that until you started like being like, oh fuck no. She's like, oh my god. You guys all watch her eyes just go so wide, her mouth drops. And she's like, yeah. And she's like pointing between the two of them. And then she's like, do you know what? No.
No, yeah, absolutely right. No.
She looks at Pipkin and she's gonna be like, it's fine. I had my own sleeping buddy. And then she's like, not the same way that you guys had sleeping buddies. And she's like looking you slowly up and down, like, But some of us.
I just climb down from that nearby tree with just like a handful of apples and just go, I found these whilst I was sleeping. Does this count?
Perfect.
Seth is gonna check that the ribbon is still in Pipkin's hair. She's just gonna like subtly look, be like, yeah, no, cool.
So, did you and Pipkin have a good night?
I slept like a boar.
I just carried her to the carriage and let her sleep.
You know me, I don't judge.
She was absolutely passed out. I don't know.
Oh, is that why I woke up there?
I feel responsible for all of you, whether you're dying or whether you're asleep, apparently. And I didn't want to just... I mean, you guys may trust people enough to bone people here, but I don't trust any of these people enough to leave someone unconscious with them. So
I don't trust people. I just know that I could take them if I needed to.
Take them? Sure. Okay.
Take them out. Yeah.
That's how you want to frame. That's fine.
Wait, who boned? Keenan, did you get some?
No, I just had a lovely night with a lovely friend.
Fair enough.
What did he get? I don't get it.
He
He made an amorous connection.
he
But
got
I'm not a child. I know what fucking is. You could have just said that.
Stephanie.
Brilliant.
No.
There was no breeding. There was just reciting of poetry and talking to each other and telling each other our life stories.
You
Oh,
guys
wow,
would have
that
seen
sounds
her so
boring
red.
as shit.
Like,
Did you do the whole thing of like
Persephone's whole
sketching
face.
each other too, or like that seems like
Yeah,
your
do you want to
speed.
see the sketches?
No,
Definitely not. No, thank you.
I do.
of course the smut reader, the pirate smut reader wants to read. She's like trying to cover her bag because she also has pirate smut in her bag.
Like,
Of course, smut reader.
literally zero shame. He pulls out his sketchbook, and they're like, are these like tastefully artistic drawn representations of somebody with
Yep.
nothing really on display, but it's like, you know, sensual type images,
This is
sketches.
too much.
It's just
This-
signed with a lipstick kiss on the bottom from each of them.
Seth like physically removes herself. She like moves as far away from him as possible to like the other side of the group. Like, no, I can't look at that. I just can't. And you can see like, you guys probably haven't seen it for a while, but her cheeks are doing that glowing freckles, but it's bright, burning red. It's like so red. She's never been more embarrassed.
You don't want to see your own picture, Stephanie?
Wait, you
hope
have a
it's
picture of
clothed.
her naked?
Not naked, and I show
Yeah.
the one of her on the ship where she was praying.
From the beginning, yeah.
Can I
I
have
was like,
one of
you
these?
showed me that one. Why do you want a picture of me praying?
Because you look cute. Anyway, if you can make me like a copy of it, that'd be great. I'm gonna go get breakfast.
Sure.
So, and he sort of shoves his hands up, walks off.
Wait
You
for
do-
me.
Okay.
We all need to eat. This is okay. Can I have an
You
apple?
watch
She says
as
to Callum.
he
I just
walks
tossed one
over.
over.
He walks over to where everyone's queuing up for, it looks like bowls of porridge. And he's chatting with one person and then talking to another. There is a comfort in how familiar he is with these people that catches you all off guard. In the sense of he seems to know how this works instinctively. And as he's talking, Keenan, you notice a person with an insignia that you had seen earlier that morning on their shoulder, and as Kozar like moves out of the way, you notice that it's about 8-foot mass of hulking muscle and a large sort of round form, quite a bald head with various different intricate markings. It's Twinkus, and they're just palling around. He like does some little punches. I'd say without even an insight check, Kozar didn't get some last night. He got drunk with Twinkus and found himself a tent. He does return with Pipkin, all holding one or two or three bowls, as much as they can, and just starts spinning them out to all of you. And as he's doing that, he's like, so, we already know where we're going. Me and Twinkus made a plan last night, so we can get on the road as soon as you want to. I have designated Kalanthar the map man because reading is boring and I don't want to.
Stephanie's gonna look offended. She's gonna be like, I'm really good with maps too, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
I was going to say, Persephone's probably better at the looking at the map side of things. I'm more looking at the land, to be honest.
Since
It's alright,
when did
Callum.
you
We'll
like
work
reading?
together. It's not that reading a map doesn't count as reading. I'm not sat there reading a book. It's a map. I'm
What?
looking at a map.
Why'd you have a book in
So
your
the-
bag then?
Because I was interested in it.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, if
What's
you
it
want to
about?
be if you want to be the map person, you go ahead.
That's okay.
And
Well, me and Callum, we've been working
Sure.
together quite
Okay.
well the past day, so we'll do it together.
I mean, I was going to put
Stephanie,
you in charge of
Stephanie.
hunting, but that's fine. Guess
What's
it's
your
just
book
reading
about?
Better at
maps.
that than me. He's better at hunting than I am. It's the other way around, really.
Kalanthar, you
I'm only
hunt?
saying this because I've rolled so poorly on like
Yeah,
any survival.
tell me about it. A 1 and a 2.
Because the way you skinned that deer yesterday did not look like you hunted.
Hey,
I
people have
was
bad days, even you,
I was just a little bit
I had
shaky.
great days.
That was all.
and horrendous ones.
A little
You
bit
just-
close to home at the minute, and mine wasn't on it.
Ah,
It
I'll be
happens.
honest.
yeah, I've been like that. We call it a slump.
Yeah. Everyone has performance issues. Should we get moving?
But not me.
While
Keelan.
we're making plans,
A lot of snacks.
I got a couple of these, and she like pulls out the health potion. She's like, I'm gonna keep one, but I thought this would help keep some of the like weight off Persephone. She can focus on other things than saving our butts. So would someone else like the other one?
Who goes down the most?
I'd say Keenan needs it most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say anything, but I was
I'll
a bit
say
like,
it.
maybe, yeah.
Okay.
She
I
like
mean-
hands it over to Keenan.
I only. Okay, yeah, I go down a lot.
Yeah, of course you do.
Mhm.
Disgusting.
I just got that. That's funny.
Yeah, I kind of learned from my lesson of going down a little bit too much in our earlier adventures, so I can now use
Jumping
cure
off a
wounds.
cliff, man. Wait,
Oh,
this is how I find out.
I literally just realised I could learn it, so I did it in the long rest.
Do you know what? We must have like been sharing a brain cell because I was thinking the same, and I can kind of do something similar. You know how, like from a distance, like Persephone shouts at us and that heals us. Well, I can sing at you and heal you.
Ooh.
I'm just like, I can fart.
I literally only just noticed it was on there, above table bone.
and Nim like kind of looks a little bit like a little disheartened. She was like,
But I appreciate the potion because I can't like, if I'm unconscious or very low, it's
can
probably
pour it
better
in
that
your
I drink
mouth.
the potion.
I've also got to touch the person, so if I'm right at the back where I normally am shooting, probably not going to be too much help, but it's something.
yeah, I just wanted to be helpful. It's fine. Thanks for we have options. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's good to have options. I mean, how that fight went yesterday, we needed all the options, so.
Oh, yeah. That's what sparked my mind with this. I thought they might have some, being an army. I paid them a bit extra because I felt a bit bad taking their supplies. But yeah, at least we're not gonna, hopefully, be in a situation like that again.
Well, since we're giving gifts, and let me know how much I owe you for that potion, Nim.
Oh no,
Well,
it's
I
fine.
bought you a present as well, because you know, like when we've been training, you like to whack things really hard. Well,
Yes,
if you
yes, I
drink this before, you can hit them even harder. And I'm going to give Nim the potion of heal giant strength.
Nice.
thank you. She just like
Uh,
looks at it in awe, like.
And sorry, I couldn't get everyone gifts. They didn't have a lot of stock. But Persephone, of course, I couldn't leave you out because you are my bestie. You know how sometimes you don't spot things, or you need to look really closely at stuff. I've got this one for
Dare
you,
you?
and I'm going to give her the potion of cinder dust.
What? Wait, what does that do?
We don't know.
What?
It makes you horny, is what I got from it.
Do
that
you
was one of the
openly
things.
give it to her? Is my question.
In front of
No,
everyone.
I got you this, and like I kind of like not openly say everyone can see, but pass it to her in a
Yeah.
semi-surreptitious
You
way.
do realise she's just gonna hold it in her hand and be like, "What the fuck is this?" She's just gonna like
There
hold it in
is
her fingertips.
I'd say for What's everyone's passive perception?
Passive perception
12.
12.
15.
Nim, you see Kozar clocks the substance. It's like a small jar with orange powder in it.
Well, mine's 14. Sorry, I probably should have said that I'm.
Yeah, you don't clock it, but there's
Okay.
a wry, very amused smile from Kozar as he looks at it, and who is holding it.
Nim is not gonna say anything. She's just gonna have like a little bit of like a wry smile on her
How dare
face
you?
as well.
We're meant
Like
to be friends. We're not bonding, Nim.
we were, but like Nim has spent so long resisting the urge to just like go. Will you two just kiss already? So she's like,
Right.
she's like, she's just like, I'm gonna let this happen. Like,
Okay, but what does it do? Persephone's just gonna openly ask. What is it? What is it?
You
You said it makes me more. I can see things more. What does that even mean?
It makes it easier to see things. It makes you quicker at doing stuff, like run faster, for longer. You know, it's just makes you better. Just not all the time. Like
Performance
When would I-
it's
enhancer.
drugs.
How long? Do you know how long it lasts? Did they
Um,
tell you how long it lasts?
10 minutes. I mean, interesting.
It's something that I should use in like battle. Isn't something that I should use now in hopes it will
Yes,
last
yeah.
the whole day. Okay.
I suppose you could use it in battle.
When else would you use it?
I mean, it looks like something.
Do you know what this is? She's like
No,
holding it in his face.
No, of course I don't. Hold on.
Insight check.
Yeah, roll for insight.
I have a +6 in insight. And I rolled a 19, so 25.
He's lying so bad.
Like, why won't you tell me? It's so okay. You don't have to tell me, but just tell me if what he's saying is true. It will make me better at. Right? Are there side effects?
Yeah, no, it'll make you better. Yeah.
Is it gonna make me poo my pants?
No.
That's really embarrassing. I don't want to do that.
No. And he looks at Kino. He's like, cinder dust, right?
Uh-huh.
You've
Yeah,
used it before?
It's from Zemrathul in Ixalora.
Never been.
It's new. It's most people use it more recreationally, but I suppose you could use it in battle if you wanted to. Yeah. I'd expect that
Okay.
stuff's a little bit more diluted than the stuff they smoke back home. So.
So if I don't use it in battle, when else would I use it?
I don't
You
think
keep
that's.
saying, I suppose you could use it in battle. When else would I use it?
When grapple checking with friends.
They use it for. They use it during sex flowers.
Huh?
Sex, you know. Sex.
Yeah, I
You
know.
what
I know
sex
all
is,
about
right?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I know.
They,
all
well,
about
I mean, they don't only. They use it's like a euphoric. Well,
Why do I need
back
this?
over there, it's like a euphoric thing, but it does make you quicker, and you do experience a heightened perception. So yeah, I guess you could use it in. I never really thought about it that way. That's smart thinking, Keenan. Well done.
Why do I?
It kind of also makes sense now why they winked at me when they sold it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know. You didn't know. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. I was about to be really offended, Keenan. I was about to be so upset with you.
Yeah, don't take the lid off the jar though, because it'll turn into smoke as soon as you do that.
You can see that she was like about to do it. And she's like, right, no, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone roll a wisdom save.
We're not actually sure like how they make it like that, but yeah, well, there's a couple of fires started once people when it first hit the streets.
It's so weird. I don't know.
You undo the cap, you inhale the smoke, and then it.
Okay.
Yeah.
maybe
Keep
just
that in
try it.
mind
up. What do you mean, just try it?
I'll try it.
You just try it.
All right.
Wait, what?
I'll try right
She
now.
just hands it to him. She's like, go ahead. Bet. She's like not expecting him to do it at all.
I don't know what to roll for this. I'll roll odds and evens.
Has it got enough uses? that
Yes, it
Con
does.
he would
save.
We got the
I
dice
didn't even
game.
say what I'm doing. Okay, so evens, he won't do it. Odds, he will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is a 2. You see, like, he does seriously consider it. He's like, we should probably get going. This will only derail us more. You hang on to this. Hands it back to Persephone.
She puts it in her bag and then goes, huh, pussy.
I'm just like, if it wasn't in a jar, like if it was in like a envelope or something, you just tuck it inside your pirate smart. Oh dear.
Alright,
Carry on,
let's go.
sorry, that was just an intrusive thought that I just had to say.
It's gonna. I don't know when I'm gonna use this or if. Because
Save it for
above
a
table,
special occasion.
It could be very.
above table, I don't know when I would. Like
It could be very
genuinely.
effective.
So
Yep,
I'll give you the mechanics of what it does. It will give you advantage on all perception checks for 10 minutes. It would also increase your speed by 10 feet. And you can take the dodge action freely.
Ooh.
Okay.
That is pretty good, actually.
The bad
She'll
news
probably
is
use
once
it.
that has worn off, you will be wanting to take whomever is in your radius into the nearest tent, if you catch my drift.
Okay.
Maybe we could use it for interrogation. Tie someone up, let it run out of time, just leave them
Jesus, I
there.
didn't know you were freaky like that. I knew Keenan was, but I didn't know you were about that.
I mean, we don't need the dust to do that with someone we tie up.
Mm.
My
be funny,
God, can
though.
we just keep
Oh,
going? You
God.
guys are insufferable.
Persephone was. She'll probably say what I was thinking. Maybe like on the road when we're on the road. If like if we, you know, we tend to keep an eye out when we're on the road. We tend to, and I'll just ride on a horse separate from you guys.
Or you
Okay.
know when it would be
Yeah.
helpful. Also, you know when we do like guard duty overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
what
take
I was
shifts.
thinking. On
Mhm.
watch. Yeah.
Am I the only one who sees a problem with this plan?
Oh, I
Absolutely.
wasn't seeing a problem, more as just like, it'd be funny.
Opportunity.
Keenan just takes
what do you
tactical
mean by
shifts
that?
like halfway through.
Yeah,
the
what do you mean?
Keenan, I am not getting with you, alright? 1, I'm afraid I might break you in half, but 2... well, mainly 1, because I can't think of a 2.
That's fine. We can discuss the logistics later on. Let's get moving.
Fine, it's fine. Get him
Oh.
a back brace. It's fine. Get him a back
Eventually,
brace, it'll be fine.
through the chit-chat, the bickering, the gossiping, you do like somehow find your way drifting towards the stables, and eventually you get yourselves ready and you're about to go on the road, and you hear like it's almost like a tweeting bird, but it's really sharp and really loud, and you turn back and there's like 4 or 5. I need to remember how many there were. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 very familiar figures. Twenkus, you can feel the ground vibrating as he's running after
love
the
him.
cart. He's like, wait up! Hold on! I need a lift! Astride
he would break
horses...
my
To, like,
back.
lean out to give him a hand, even though she's the weakest one
Astride horses
Definitely
of their
Savannah.
own are the rest of them. The bounding ginger-haired scout, the very solemn-looking, quite thin elven man with a bow, as well as the various other people that I never described, humanoids. As Scarif, Dwennel, Bailey, Fox, and Twenkus do join you on your journey, and you begin to leave the encampment in the direction of La Salelle. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. That's hilarious.
It's gonna be my new goal. Get Keenan a back brace.
Like,
So
literally, everyone in the party, their goal is to get you and Kozar together.
Essentially.
Yeah, but that's not mine. That's not Persephone's.
As
I
you're
told
moving
you guys.
along,
I told
how
you.
would you like to orientate yourselves? In carts, on horses? Let
We
me
got an
know.
extra horse now.
You
than we
have
had
you have a
before?
horse for every member of the party.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. You have 4 horses, 2 other
A donkey.
horses, and a donkey
We
and
have
a cart.
Jim.
I'll take the
You
donkey.
have quite a wrangling mess of animals at the moment. You've got maybe
Seth
7.
will tell Pipkin that the donkey is named Jim, and he's don't tell Keenan, my best friend.
I
Don't
Jim.
tell Kozar either.
Oh yes, yeah.
Jim's my
So
bestie.
to give Pipkin the rundown, there is a donkey named Jim.
Mhm.
He's very loud and will often interrupt people during conversation.
What a good trait.
Yeah,
I
there
love it.
is a horse named Charlie, who is one of the most beautiful horses you've ever seen in your life. And he knows it.
Yeah.
And the other one is called Fish, and he looks like he does what a horse should do and is very fast. And
I'll probably
he's
ride on
okay
Fish.
looking, but quite jealous of Charlie's flickering L'Oreal mane.
Yeah.
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 And then the other
Yeah, I'll
4
just-
that we never figured
So
out.
Charlie is our Keenan, but
Yep.
in horse
Yep.
form.
Yes.
Yeah. Essentially.
He's Keenan's horse. Let's be fair. Like no one else. is
Yeah.
allowed to
I
ride
think
him.
Keenan
No.
did just generally
claimed him.
became his horse. Yeah.
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 I think
Let's be
Nim
fair,
would
like,
take one of the
Charlie
other
would
ones.
judge the rest of us. Like he wouldn't let anyone else ride him.
True. That is true. Yeah.
I can't wait till we get to speak with animals.
Just you wait, buddy. Just you wait. It's coming. When I get that druid level.
But yeah. So Twenkas is in the cart, alongside whoever wants to be in there, and then the other scouts are astride their own horses. But let me know how you're orientating yourselves.
Seth will be in the cart. Persephone will be in the cart.
Keenan will be riding Charlie alongside the cart.
I'll, be riding Fish alongside somewhere.
I'm on Jim.
Persephone's
Yeah,
like,
I'll-
do you have to ride Fish? Can you not come back here so we can look at the thing, the rot thing, so we can discuss? You said you wanted to do it together.
I suppose we could. It might be a bit difficult
like
to look into it whilst we're on a
She's
car.
shouting at everyone, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, okay, no, you're right. Yeah, let's not do that.
We
I don't
don't
want
have
to spill it."
like if we had more than we have, like we have two vials.
Mhm.
Probably best to do it when we're not on a bumpy
Yeah,
cart road.
Maybe
just-
we wait until we get to the dwarves, and then we've got
Yeah. Maybe I can
help.
put together a more refined station to try and diagnose it a bit better.
Okay. Smart. Very smart man. I am not. I'm not a man, nor am I smart.
No, I gotta admit, I've been wanting to actually ride on the horse for a change. Like I'm normally on top of the cart, so
Why am I imagining
it's a bit of a
like-
change.
Like Assassin's Creed, you know, like when you're about to jump off the horse, like you're just
Yeah.
you're just standing,
Just
out
standing on
top of it. You're
Yeah.
just surfing
Yeah.
a horse.
Yeah. No, he totally would be at that point if you've like called him out. Just like
Yeah, I think Nim would be on her like on one of the other horses, kind of riding at the back to kind of keep an eye on anyone like sneaking up behind them. I think she'd also be like, she'd try and like join in a little bit and be like, if could this be my horse and I will name him, I will name him Jeremy.
Jeremy. Sorry, it's just Jeremy and
Jeremy.
him.
Can Jeremy be like a little bit stockier, like hedge muscle horse?
Oh my god, that'd be so
Just like Nim. Gotta be well built,
Mm,
looking like a snack.
like the kind of horse that would intimidate other horses.
Oh yeah, 100%. That'd be the
Okay,
horse she chose.
um,
That
Kind of
wasn't.
if you're scared, it's gonna kick you in the face.
Yeah.
Roll me a d20.
Okay. Oh, that's a 3.
Oh, sweet baby girl. Oh no.
Holy shit.
Oh, is that
Oh my
that might be
God.
a good thing. That sounds
That,
good.
that might
That
be a
sounds
good
good.
thing.
That sounds good.
Oh, I don't know. The smiling DM has me. It's just a natural fear.
Yeah, very,
Okay.
very much a fear.
I actually, You won't know what he can do, so, I'll just have to try and remember.
Okay.
Okay.
I will write that down in Nim's notes.
Damn
Whenever
it,
we're
his
talking
name's
about
Jeremy.
horses.
Don't forget.
What's his name?
Jeremy. She was like trying to be really inventive, and she's just like, I don't know any names.
I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely think this beats Charlie's. In my
Oh my
opinion.
god.
Okay.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
well, one of you might find out what this is if you do end up
Mm.
talking to him/them.
Ooh. Is it
Come
going to
on,
be like a
guys.
tactician or something? That'd be really cool.
That
It's
was
like a
that was
war horse that knows battle.
Oh, no. Cool.
An
That is
ex-druid that's
crazy.
trapped in horse form.
Yeah.
great.
As you move along, you're just often chilling around, talking, things like that. Kozar and Zeph are up front. Kozar just got like his legs splayed out, probably.
Could Persephone, like, is she in the cart on her own except for
Wankus?
Angus.
Yeah, is it just me and him in the cart? the back of it, obviously.
Yeah.
In that case, she's gonna say, yeah, I'm not meaning to be rude, but and then she's gonna close her eyes and she's gonna pray.
Mhm.
But it's not gonna be. It's not really aimed at the Weaver. She's taking a moment to, even though she knows she can't hear her, she's talking to her mum because she just recently found out that her mum's actually dead. So she's just
Okay.
taking a moment to herself. She hasn't really had one this whole time. So she's gonna be like, I don't know you, so this is as close as I'm gonna get to being alone. And she's just gonna take probably like 10 minutes. Just sort of, it's gonna literally look like she's talking to no one. It's not gonna be like a prayer. It's gonna be like she's updating her mum on what's been happening. And that she's gonna do whatever she can to ensure that the part of the wood is returned to where it belongs.
Describe to me Persephone's not fondest moment, but the moment she pictures when she thinks of her mother in terms of now realizing that she's a leader and full of strength. And is there a moment that you would have looked at her in that way, do you think?
She probably would have. So to her head, it probably would have come across as like a negative memory at first. Of her mum being like stern on her and trying to get her to be a druid and trying to get her to follow a certain path. But now that she knows the truth, it's sort of clicking into place. So it's
Okay.
like it would have been like a ridiculous memory of her doing like a druid ritual, and then her mum scolding her for getting it wrong. But then she sort of realizes now why she was doing that. And she's like, she was just being strong. She was trying to guide me on my path.
Okay. As you're thinking back on that and speaking to her in some form of prayer, your arm grows very hot as your symbol of the Weaver glows ever so gently. Just really hot, divine energy. You imagine that memory. You were preparing for some sort of ceremony or festival that the druids often used to celebrate, often in conjunction with the arrival of the traveling druid, as you called him. A very beautiful, in your opinion, representation of what druids could be. He was different. But as you're thinking back to that memory, your mother's trying to teach you to conjure plants and force them or guide them to grow on command. You were making a wreath, an arch, for him to walk upon arriving in the grove. And she wanted your help to adorn this archway with the very beautiful purple and blue night flowers. You couldn't grasp it, and she was slowly growing very annoyed and more frustrated that you couldn't quite grasp it, and wanted to demonstrate to you how you could do it if you applied yourself. And you're thinking back to seeing her in all of her pure and beautiful, very stoic, motherly image, like her hair just gently moving in the breeze as she has her eyes closed, and you can see there's a little bit of tension on her face, and then moves her hand, and you watch those flowers grow and vines wreath around it. At the time, you'd thought it an overly confident display, and she should leave you alone. That's not what you want to be. You don't want to be her. And you're thinking back to that in a more adoration than you had thought now with everything that you know. As you open your eyes, you are surrounded and have covered the inside of the cart in beautiful and blooming white orchids.
So she will, throughout that whole thing, while she was praying, she probably would have had like silent tears sort of just streaming down her face. But as she notices that, she just sobs. Because she's like, And then she looks at Twankus and says, "Was that you?
He's asleep.
Did you do this?" She's like, "Well, it wasn't him." And then she's just like, "Did I do? Did I just do it?" And she just sits there in silence, contemplating what just happened.
I will say, because the cart is open, there is a moment where Kozar looks back and he's like, "Flowers? No, I mean
I
like
made flowers."
flowers. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that."
I didn't know that I could do that either.
Nice.
Yeah. And she sort of falls back to her silence, and she's sort of gathering them. She'll, like...
There is a moment that Twinkers does wake up and he's like,
she'll like gather one and put it in his hair, like tuck it behind his ear. Adorable. And she'll just start gathering the others, and she'll summon like Keenan over maybe and put one in his hair. Like don't ask. And she's like putting one in his hair, and she'll just dot an orchid on everyone's. Everyone gets an orchid. And the other, she just she grabs her smut book. And she puts a couple of them like in the back, so she can press them together, and then she puts it back in her bag.
And we pull away for now, with the cart and the horses riding on throughout this grassland that now moves into just plains, as far as the eye can see. A little bit up and down in terms of landscape, but mainly just sparse trees, a lot of rocks and grass and things like that. Definitely a very different environment that you're used to. And in the distance begins a scattering canyons in the earth begin to appear. Small at first, and then slowly begin to grow into this beautiful array of mesas and plateaus, with various different trails moving amongst them. And we will come back after a quick break. But before we do, of course, we almost forgot. I didn't. We almost forgot to announce our next winner. And from what I remember, it is going to be one cast member from a campaign.
Ooh.
Or the Wombat herself, who sadly lost to Cardiff, who's so mean last week.
I actually kind of focus on that. I know my name's in that.
If you have entered, you will be automatically entered into next week, but you can just come along and do the ticket thing anyway. But, of course, we do need to announce who won. So I believe the names on the wheel at the moment are, of course, our lovely Emerald, Wombat,
Oh, no, of course I get an ad now.
Bloom, Hiccups, Outlander, and Rain. Have I forgotten anyone? I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
No. Okay. I'm always scared that I've watched it back wrong. And then, anyway. So, the person who will win for this week, a mystery dice pack for themselves. And Cardiff's name is still on there.
It's the one from last week, I think.
It is the one from last week. It is Wombat, though.
Yay!
It is the one from last week, which
I'm
is
so happy.
kind of mean. And I don't know why that didn't work. It's quite funny that it didn't land on you again, Cardiff.
Bit of relief, really.
Yeah, it's not rigged. That's the word I was looking for. Is this the right one?
I don't think any of us thought that.
There we go. That one looks much better, doesn't it? But I will up. I just love some technical difficulties, don't you? It's always so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, not a fan, but you know, whatever boats your float.
Whatever boats my float.
Yep, you heard me. That's what I said.
How do I?
Gimme dice. That's what I said in chat.
There we go.
Gib
Gib.
dice.
Give the dice.
Dice.
If it now doesn't land on Wombat, this is going to be awful.
I know. I'm gonna feel so bad for about 20 seconds.
Jesus.
You can't respin it. My tongue is all tingling.
I will send a pack to Wombat if she doesn't win. Don't worry. I have extras.
Yeah.
Okay. The person who will win also this week, other than Wombat, unless she rolls it,
Back again.
is going to be
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Emerald.
Oh shit!
Hey.
So congratulations, Emerald and Wombat. You will
Thank
both be
you.
receiving a mystery dice bag, which we will obviously re-announce everyone at the end of the month with a big sort of celebratory thing, and then I'll grab everyone's details then rather than doing it individually now. Yeah, otherwise it's just a lot of hassle. But we will go to a quick break, and you can join me and my cast members back in about 5 to 10 minutes once we've peed and got drinks and things like that. So we will see you all very soon. Don't go anywhere. Bye.
Find me a place among my brethren, the pines, the bees, the frost. I cannot stay where nature's embrace is lost. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Down by riverside resting, no one but me. Leave behind your troubles and your worries. Set your soul on fire and dance among the trees. Oh, find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Ooh, where the horned one sleeps. Deep in woodlands running, no one but me. Wake up, breathed in ivy, bathed in the light of the moon. Through the canopy I see the light of the stars shining through. Down by shoreside singing, no one but me. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise. For the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Oh. Strike, turn, hammer and burn. The bellows teach and the fires burn. Iron, oil, temper and toil. The forge ain't hot if your blood don't boil. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade to slay that evil heel. A sword that gleams like diamonds that can make the darkness kneel. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise. For the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Hear that anvil ring, echo song of the hammer swing. Shape, grind, polish and shine. The world ain't ready for a work so fine. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade for to purge the blight which creeps upon this world we love to take from us the light. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise. For the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise. For the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Killers, thieves, thick of skin, till your ruthless trial begins. Let the judge's word sink in, a lifetime on the Isle of Sin. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin. Jagged rock, sea slick caves, no way out but the 10-foot waves. You'll cry out to be saved, no reprieve for the criminal slave. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin. Cursed stone, blessed ore, swing your pick till you hit the floor. Break your filthy back some more until you strike the mithril score. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin. With your life, pay your dues, work or die, it's yours to choose. You've got nothing left to lose. The sharks await should you soul and mine, they're one and the same. Split one in twain, and we both feel the pain. The sins of one father unread in our veins. Through darkness and hunger she remained, but her heart no more beats in tandem with mine. And I'm waiting for the wink and the witty one-liner, for her to say she got me and hit me with a smile. But the hole in my chest says I'll be waiting for a while. Be a boatman, your reaper, I'll be yours, but you can't keep her. Lay me down on a bed of ravens' feathers. Dear sister, swear to me you'll stay close, never out of reach. Oh, do not go far from me until I'm gone. Mantle of death, black feathered crown, lift up this body asleep on the ground. A soul for a soul, let mine be laid down in this tomb I wish had never been found. You were to champion, I want her back. So I'll be your boatman, your reaper. I'll be yours, but you can't keep her. Lay me down on a bed of ravens' feathers. Dear sister, swear to me you'll stay close, never out of reach. Oh, do not go far from me until I'm gone. There's no price too steep to pay to bring you back to life. Losing.
Okay. We pick back up to the sound once more of very slowly clattering wheels along the soft and bumpy road of this new environment you find yourselves in. It's been a couple of days since your original leaving of the encampment, every now and then stopping to set up camp amongst your new scout friends. Often they would go off on their own small missions or targets, perhaps. Things to look at or send information back to the main encampment. You're not too sure. Every now and then they do join you in perhaps a meal or two, and are often seen along the road. A couple of them you most of the time don't see. Often following you, but at an arm's length. They seem to seamlessly blend in with some of their surroundings, a thing that Keenan is very used to seeing. I've forgotten where I'm going with this. Oh yeah. The journey westward has taken you through a land that looks like it's been shaped a lot more by time and trial. It's become a little dusty, winding between rocky outcrops where the earth shifts from cracked, sun-baked soil to patches of stubborn grass that cling to life against the elements. The sky stretches wide and endless above you, and the sun in this expanse of northern Nivellir is a molten disk in a sea of blue. As shadows of heat rises from the ground. In a very western feel, the wind carries the scent of sagebrush and distant rain that has not passed through this grounds. And the horizon remains dry and broken only by the sound of rolling hills and distant mesas, jutting up like ancient watchmen over the plains. You do see tumbleweeds drifting lazily across the path, the only movement beside the occasional rustle of unseen creatures skittering through the underbrush. You soon find yourself in a very isolated mesa. You've taken perhaps the wrong or the right path. The interconnected roads along here can often get confusing even with a quite detailed map. And this plateau where the land is blessed by a power of agriculture, you see in the distance what appears to be some sort of farm or hunter's cabin. You're not too sure, as it's a weird combination of forest and western construction. You spy a flock of birds in the distance. But more importantly and closer is quite a regal and furious figure, adorned in quite opulent jewelry. She seems to move very low to the ground, almost stalking, until she locks eyes with your tumultuous party and stands a little bit taller. She is a tabaxi, and you can see quite a beautifully white and black fur. She's about 60 feet in front, standing in the road, and had her eyes fixed on the flock that was circling the skies. Take it away.
Is there like a car or anything around her? Like, can we see
Is she just on her own?
she's like traveling on something?
It looks like that building is off to one side, a little ways away, maybe 10-20 minutes walk. And then she seems to have been moving by foot. You don't see any horses or anyone else with her.
Do we see any like obvious weapons on her?
Yep. She has what appears to be a long spear affixed to her back, as well as two quite curved short swords and a couple of daggers along her tunic.
None of us recognize her like as a person.
No? No. You've seen tabaxi every now and then. They're not too well seen in Elentrian, so that is a little bit odd. Aside from that, just the fact that she's standing there alone, essentially in the wilderness, is the thing that stands out most.
Persephone's gonna break the awkward tension between everyone. She's just gonna shout, "Are you okay?"
She holds up a hand as if to try and make both all of the horses and the cart stop in their movement. She's still quite far away from you.
Persephone's gonna look to Kozar and be like, "Slow down, stop."
Mhm.
I think if it's a warning, I think we should heed it.
Mm-hmm.
Could also be an
Or a
ambush, though. So
cry for help.
keep your eyes out.
Shall I go make introductions?
Persephone's also gonna keep an eye. She's gonna keep an eye on just like the general area. She wants to just look around just to double check that there's no one else. Is there any like hiding places where people could be hiding to ambush her?
Make me a perception check.
Should have drank that potion. 19.
It looks like if someone was to create an ambush, they would not choose an open plain of
Okay.
no brush to hide behind.
Yeah, just checking that there wasn't any. I don't think this is something that we... I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I don't think this is something we try to solve with violence. But I don't know. She clearly doesn't want us to approach her.
She might not want us to approach her en masse.
You can talk to her, can't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
I mean
exactly.
by a message, right? Like you can talk in her head.
Yeah, both Callan and I can do that.
So that you don't have to. What I'm saying is that so we don't have to get closer.
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe just
I
try
have to be
and
within 30
start
feet
the
to do my talk through
conversation.
the head thing.
Okay.
Is talking
I
in
do
the head
not.
not?
Or I can do the message thing, but
Is the message thing not going to be like kind of scary if she doesn't understand it? Like,
I mean, it is a bit like stepping into someone's house and just,
well, with
making
my
yourself at home.
telepathy, like talking,
But you're not
they
reading
understand.
her
They
thoughts
understand
or
me.
anything.
I'll go and speak to it. It's fine. I'll stay within 30 feet of you. Pipkin, do you want to
do
join
not.
me?
No. She clearly did not. Okay.
And I'm gonna hop off the horse, dismount, and kind of like walk slowly towards her, and kind of like call out hello.
Stephanie's like face palming as you do this.
You get about 30 feet, and as you do, you look up just slightly as you see one of these birds dive bomb towards her. And the closer they're getting, the closer you can see 4 legs, a feathered head and a beak, and beautifully wide and expansive wings sprouting from a horse's body. As this hippogriff hits the ground and runs through the person, who shimmers slightly before it gallops and lifts back into the air. You can tell that it looks like they're trying to attack whatever this thing is. And Persephone, as you're watching that happen, you see a flash of emerald green scales as something moves to stop Keenan from walking any further.
Persephone will immediately shout at him to let him know. She'll just be like, get back right now.
He does, but walking backwards. Not
Slow backstep, just
Yeah.
like
yeah.
Moonwalking.
Pipkin does the same.
As that shimmering tabaxi disappears, almost in sync, this other person reappears. She's got emerald green scales with the same opulent jewelry that you had spied on the tabaxi, with loops of fine chain draped across her arms and neck that shimmer in the sunlight. Her clothes are quite well fitted but elegant, and she has a somewhat shapely form for a lizard folk. She bears marks of a hunter with leather guards on her wrists and a curved blade, and a long obsidian-tipped spear clutched in her clawed hand. She doesn't look at Keenan, more as just shove her hand so he can't walk any further, with her focus remaining on the sky.
As he backs away, he's just going to shout and go, "No harm intended, just wanted to make introductions, can be lonely travelling. I've got my friends with me. I don't know when the last time you saw somebody was, but no harm intended," and he's going to keep backing away with Pipkin.
If you're here for a trade, you've taken a foolish road, elf.
We were just passing through. We're aiming for Limasil. perhaps you can provide directions if we've taken a wrong turn.
She pauses a minute and turns to regard you with very amber eyes. They're slit pupiled.
Mm-hmm.
You do not carry the stink of merchants, of the blindfold of those fools in Irides Coast. Why have you come? Other than making your way, are you here to hunt these beautiful creatures?
I knew she was protecting them.
Absolutely not. We were, as I say, making our way to Limassol. There is some nefarious goings on there that we wish to stop. I don't know if you do any trade with them. I'd be cautious of, or at least check foodstuffs. We've heard intelligence that it's someone's poisoning their stock.
See, she pauses for a minute and turns her head and juts her spear towards where you had seen the previous person, and even further, maybe 100 foot beyond, reappears, and you watch as the flock of hippogriffs move towards that person, making sure that you are out of danger. This is the right road, but all you will find here at the moment is the end of a kingdom in the sky.
What is she talking about?
Is a story that I need to hear. The end of a kingdom in the sky.
Yes.
I must apologize for my ignorance about such things.
Do you not know what these creatures are?
I mean, I've heard about them or read about them in books. I must confess, I kind of thought that they were fantasies made up by bards like myself.
Come, I will
It's
talk to your
astounding.
group. And she brushes past you, almost forcefully.
Yep.
Would Cannon have ever run into hippogriffs on his travels by any chance?
Roll me a history check. I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I don't have all the answers.
I know.
But you're
Oh,
God.
Continuing the low rolls of 7. Nice on
no.
that.
You, I would say your research was often a lot into nefarious rumors than mystical beasts, because a lot of the stories of beasts like this aren't always bad, and a lot of the time we'll revere them in some quite beautiful writing, and you're always on the lookout for nightmares more than anything.
As she approaches us, Persephone will sort of lean over the side of the cart and just repeat what she said when she saw them in the first place, and just are you okay?
Yes.
So you're not in danger? That's what I'd assumed.
No. Hippogriffs don't like horses very much. I wanted to make sure that they didn't move targets.
Oh. Okay. She just shrugs and then sits back down in the car, so casually. Good enough for me.
Yeah, absolute thank you for that assistance.
told you
It
she
would have
was-
taken us off guard. Most certainly.
You would be
let
dead,
us-
more than likely, yes.
Let us do introductions. My name's Keenan. This ragtag group of ours, I will let them introduce themselves. As I say, we're making our way to Limassol to right some wrongs. And then I gesture to Pipkin, who's beside me, to do the round of introductions.
Yeah, hi. I'm Pipkin. I'm a guard of who? Of the Anyway, these are our friends,
I'm gonna
and I point
do
to the rest.
I'll do the showman intro that I've tried to mimic off Keenan the other week. Calathon Miss Daven at your service. Blood Hunter.
Right.
Persephone's just gonna look at her and go, Seth?
I honestly don't need the whole thing. I
Yeah, I
don't-
thought so. What
Yeah.
is your... Do you mind if we ask your name? Just so that we know what to call you rather than that person?
Nitialis Bright Knife.
Never mind, I'm not gonna ever be able to pronounce that.
It is hard to say in the common tongue. Yes.
I'm just gonna say pretty green lady. And she's gonna like pretend like she's writing it down in her head. She's got like her finger out in the air, like pretty green lady. Good enough. I get spelling and shit.
Would it be offensive for us in the common tongue to shorten that to Bright Knife?
That is what most people call me. I am a hunter by trade. This mesa has been blessed for generations. The crops grow when others fail around here, and the water flows when the rivers dry. My ancestors safeguarded its secrets,
How-
and we have tended the land as stewards, not owners.
Have you sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. We found someone who was poisoning the land, making it rot, the same with the river. Have you had to protect against that? We just know that they were going down the river.
I
And-
thought the curse lay with these beasts, and she like motions towards them.
Mm.
They called them guardians, but I was ready to strike them down to cut away the rot before it spreads. But like you say, I was wrong. The blight is coming from the poison waters that are now in the earth.
I wish I could help, but I'm not
I
capable.
intercepted messages written in the tongue of thieves. Do any of you speak this?
Not me.
Looks over at Keenan.
Eat no more. Look at Kozar.
There's like
Being
you
rogue,
guys
I
look at Keenan, and then Keenan looking at Kozar, and Kozar's like, what? What? Why are you all looking at me? I'm not a thief.
Just because we
You do
don't
realize
know
we
what
saw
languages you speak as well as we do each other's, like we've been
We saw
traveling.
him.
Look,
We saw him stealing
I'm not a
stuff
thief,
at the-
okay? But I am highly well schooled in, books and
He's
and
such
shit.
a liar. No, he's not.
I will take a look at it, and through my natural gift of reading stuff, I will tell you what it means. Because, as I
Persephone
said,
is just
I'm not a thief.
staring.
Also,
He's lying.
complete side note, Keenan, here's 10 gold that I stole from you earlier. Anyway, I was gonna use it to buy you something, but I felt bad after a while.
Keenan will pass it back and go, buy me something. It's fine.
Sweet.
He wants you to buy him flowers.
He doesn't like flowers.
Why doesn't he like flowers?
I don't know, ask him.
You don't
I like
flowers?
you. Plenty, Persephone. Don't worry.
And
I-
you see he takes the notes, and after a while he's reading through it, and he's like, yep, yeah, it's the same guys. Force the farmers to
Okay.
flee, claim what's left. Careful hand, squeezing until it begs for salvation. Whoa, whoever writes this is very good. Yeah, it's got
Humble
the
brag.
stamp, and he like turns, and there's a like this orangey brown wax stamped with the image of a swirling dragon. which is the brass worm.
Ugh. It's the same people that we dealt with. We wiped out a group of them, but there's more. Sadly, we don't know how to purify the rot that they've caused.
See, Kozar's leaning there, and he's like, I mean, we could just send message to the scouts and get a cleric up here.
We did say that already. We told the captain about it. He said he was gonna...
Oh, then there'll be like a couple of days, so should be fine.
And just to say, we don't make a habit of going around and wiping out groups of people. Like it was a necessary thing that we had to do.
They were
Normally we're very
earth.
friendly.
Persephone's like immediately defending herself. They were rotting the earth. They were rotting the river. They were killing people.
You see, Bright Knife is like, I do not have a problem with killing people. I think they are lesser than animals, so...
Agreed.
The problem...
But not us. We're
the
friendly.
problem isn't the water as such. It is if we don't move them, they will starve and become desperate and kill pretty much anyone who comes around here.
Yeah.
If we can move them, then they will well, they won't go hungry or thirsty, and then they won't kill people. So
And you're moving them
we
with
can't
your,
wait days.
your
And she
illusion?
looks at Kozar like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, we can't wait days.
No, I would never expect you to. Are you... You're moving them with your illusion? Is there any other way that you move them, or is it just...
No, they seem to be insistent on staying around here. I did try and lead them away.
Shit.
It will take more than steel and spells. As you know, she looks at Kaelin. You are a hunter, so you must know that they are resistant, at least, to
Territorial.
magic.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
It will take... And she sort of like gets a little bit more hunched. Cunning.
Well, if I
If
could
you
get
do
close
this-
enough, I could technically try and talk to it.
If you do this and you help me, I will offer you something, it's turning very jester, more than gratitude.
Yeah, I was noticing.
Yeah.
I
Are
love
you
that.
pooping?
Are you pooping?
Are you pooping?
I will offer you something more than gratitude that I may or may not have stolen from the body of a recently dead dwarf who died by a way that I would not like to talk about. And I killed
Fair
him.
enough. We've all
Anyway,
You have piqued my interest.
Understandable.
you
I think I
say
can speak
you are going to
confidently when I
Dalram, right? You are going to the mountain of the dwarves?
Mm-hmm. We need to
Mhm.
stop off somewhere first, but yeah.
I may have a map of routes only known to the ghosts and whisperers. A way into Dalram unseen.
We need to be unseen.
That is a treasure indeed. And I think I can speak for our entire party here. We would be glad to offer assistance.
I mean, I would be without the map, without the information. She just points at the the hippogriffs, like, yeah, but it's pretty.
But we're kind of flying blind to a degree, so any additional information would be very helpful. So
You see, Kozar is cleaning out his nails with a dagger. He pipes up just for a minute. You guys do know the dwarves hate most of the outside realms, right?
I know
Yeah.
nothing about dwarves. I don't think I've ever seen a dwarf. That's a lie.
I mean, I haven't
In-
been there.
The Dock Master.
Of course,
He's a dwarf.
why would I go
Oh.
there? But yeah, they don't really like outsiders, and it can't really get in. I was told that you could get through Iron Ridge Mine, but you need to know where you're going because the mine was like decommissioned a while back. So you have to know the path through the mountain. And even then,
you don't have to convince us. We're in. We're gonna help this lady. She's gonna give us the map. We're in.
I was just saying because I have obviously never been there. So
I don't know if I believe you.
yeah, you're probably right.
So, Cypher, is it true that like dwarves really hate elves?
Oh no,
Or is that
no,
just like childhood stories?
That's childhood stories. No, they hate orcs
Great.
apparently, and
Do they hate us?
Generally, they're not too fond of humans or goblins or
Tiefling?
lizard folk, tabaxi. They're kind of fine with dragonborn, I think. Gnomes are okay as long as they're kept in line. Tieflings couldn't give a shit about apparently, because
Hey.
I've never been there. And
Yeah, never.
what else? No, yeah, they're fine with elves. Apparently there was some
And
sort of
they're okay with halflings too.
yeah. Apparently there's some sort of like accord. I can't remember the name of it, but they made a deal back in the olden days, around the Sundering. Apparently they were gonna share information or some shit. You should know this. Why do I haven't even been there, so...
Stop. Stop. None of us believe you.
Okay, fine, I have been there, and I may or may not have stolen a load of
Are you
shit.
a criminal
but
there?
it is... Yeah,
Are you a
of course
criminal? You're not. No, but I mean, unknown. Are you like infamous?
No, because no one saw me do it.
Okay.
And there's like
Just
a
checking.
smile.
Is it orcs they hate or a particular half orc?
Oh no, they hate the orcs, especially the Vucks. They hate the shit out of those guys.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You can borrow this, and she like taps her little captain's hat. And it's like, and then when we're there, you can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to be an orc.
I am immensely charming. What do you mean?
You just said that they hated orcs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to,
I am
you know,
a
make your life
half-orc,
a bit
and
easier.
the half is great.
Okay, my bad. My mistake.
But I do want to try that hat on at some point because it looks fun.
It's like, yeah, it is. I've used it many times to look just like you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
My child was crying.
Like, I guess we do what we can to assist you with moving these hippogriffs.
There is a ravine nearby, a place far from here, where we could get them and they will thrive. It has more, not grass, more greenery. You know, it is more green. I don't know the word. If they settle there, then they will be okay, I think.
And you're creating the illusion. Is that working well, or is there other things you can think of that will help expedite the process?
I guess if somebody can lure them or even soothe them, perhaps. They aren't naturally this hostile, but they are, I think, thirsty and hungry and willing to kill anything.
Will they get soothed via song?
I don't know. A lot of this I've just been flying by the saddle. I don't
I know what you mean.
the words.
Flying by the seat of your pants.
This one.
I know what you mean.
Yes.
I mean, we can try. Our bard has a nice voice.
Yeah. We
And
can
I have a
try.
semi-decent way with animals, with my druidic part.
Since they seem to be attracted to horses as potential meals, should we ask our scout friends to look after our cart on horses?
Mm-hmm.
And
So
we
they don't
proceed on foot?
feed on horses because horses are way too big. They're threatened by them.
Right. Okay.
But they will attack them.
They will attack them, yeah, because
Yeah,
they.
so we're not using them
yeah.
to like drive them away.
And that's not even out of. Obviously, this is all what you've taken from the conversations, rather than me keep using the accent. It's what you've taken from it is they are naturally hostile of horses, let alone now where they're attacking anything. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, lulling them with song might help. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, if they're hungry and thirsty, and I remember you did that thing with the water in the army camp. So if we could do something like that, maybe
Create water for them.
get water for them. If we got any food that they could
I
eat,
can't
lay
create
that out.
food.
We can create water for them.
Can create or destroy water.
What would be their like main diet? He's like asking Natalie.
She
Is that what you said?
is not too sure. Her best guess would be like smaller prey, so maybe like fish or rodents of some kind. They are omnivores. And in the way that she knows birds, that is usually what they go for. They're just big, four-legged horse birds. Because she also doesn't quite know what she's doing.
Which is fair.
That's fair.
We could. It's a bit risky, but we could take. I could take fish because he's probably the fastest horse we've got. Gather up a bunch of fish and stuff between myself and Persephone. Grab up a big bundle and use it like a bait rod and try and draw them away that way.
I don't think we should bring. I know that fish is fast, but these are flying fast. They will destroy you and fish. But if we can lull them in and get them to trust us and then give them fish and encourage them to follow us peacefully, then I think that's... I don't know.
How much with your
I don't wanna
create
anger
water?
them around
How big can you make the thing?
we need containers to put it in. It's like 10 gallons.
So it would take quite a lot.
But I need to put it
quite
in
a
a
long time.
container.
If we were to.
Wait, I don't even know if I have it prepared still.
Because say if we took it over a long period of time, let's say we spent a whole day prepping. Even if we dug a trench, it would take ages to fill it, right?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Just raw water.
I don't have it prepared.
Okay.
And also, we can't go getting fish and stuff because the water's rotten, the land is rotten, but we can backtrack to where but that was
we
2
could
days
potentially
ago.
spare some horse feed that we've got with us to feed our horses.
Yeah.
But I think the trick will be getting them to take the food from us and then soothing them and leading them to the ravine.
That's why I think if you calm them down, I don't know if song will work, but if you...
We can try.
If we can get them to a calm enough state, and I can get within 30 feet of them, as long as they're intelligent enough, which I think they are, being the hunters that they would, because they seem to recognize foes and everything like that, I might be able to talk to them without the use of a druid, but it's a long shot.
Make me a survival check.
Oh, come on. 10. Can't roll above a freaking 10.
I'd say 10 is enough for you to understand that they are not sentient.
They're not sentient. Okay.
Just so we don't go down that route and Kaelin dies.
Would be very on brand, wouldn't it?
Is Persephone's going to ask the... I'm not going to try and say her name. Pretty green
Bright
lady.
knife.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I could just say that. But she's going to ask her, how far spread is the rot here? Could we move to go and get some supplies for these hippogriff before we is there anywhere that we can go hunt that isn't rotten, is what I'm asking.
No, I don't think so. At least not within a day's ride.
It spreads so far. Okay. Sorry.
Only-
I think
Only because this land naturally is not very giving. Whatever creatures
Now
you
it's
find will
worse.
be hard to pin down.
Okay.
This would be such a good moment to someone who learned good berry, but none of us know it.
Hmm.
I
Fortunate.
can't. I don't think I can.
No,
Okay.
I can't learn it.
let's take some horse feed into wide open space so that they can land and approach us gently and see what we can do. I will
Who's the
play tune.
best at handling animals out of us lot?
I have a +4,
Same.
but not great.
I was gonna say I don't think mine's very good. Yeah, mine's
I've got-
+0, so definitely not me.
I'm proficient and got +4, so
I am not proficient. I've just got +4.
I just have a +1.
2. So either
Yeah.
you two.
yeah.
I mean,
Well-
joint effort, I suppose.
I've been chewed up a few times by some beasts, so it wouldn't be anything new.
No,
He's just kind
as
of
always,
like he's
as
gonna like
always,
just like
Alan.
click his fingers and you see it like light up a little bit. It's like now I can kind of bring myself back.
I mean, I can do that trick that our friend here was doing by creating an illusion further away to if things happen.
As recently we've been working together quite well. We could
Mhm.
just work together on it.
Yeah, I think the main thing will be is to
Okay.
keep within distance where we can run to the other if we need to, but not appear as a show of force. We need to space ourselves out so they don't see us. And I know they're not really going to see us as a threat in the grand scheme of things, but the least threatening we can look is probably the best. Especially if they've been victims of the hunting in the area and other areas where they've been traveling. They're not going to want to see a group of humanoids.
Yep.
Although they might
Also,
not be sentient, they probably recognise that that's a threat if we go in a group, if you know what I mean.
But also try not to look like prey.
Yeah.
How do you look like prey?
If you're too small.
I too small.
I'll just like
Mhm.
I'll just like fluff up my cloak a bit so all the feathers like puffed out so I look a little bit bigger.
Persephone looks at her braided hair. And is like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to let my hair puff out. I like it. I like the braid. I don't want to. I don't want to do it.
You see Kozar leans
Use your
in
hat.
and he's like, you're wearing a hat.
So?
The hat. He's like, Keenan, you just... Am I the
I
only
literally
person?
said,
You
no,
literally
I
just
literally
said
said to use your hat.
What? Use it to do what?
You look bigger
No.
than you are.
But I'm intimidating.
it.
Yes, yes, you are.
Oh, she was serious. Oh. I mean, yes.
I'll have you know, I can be very intimidating.
I am sure. I am so intimidated.
I can be. I would.
So, where? So Keenan's gonna play a song and they're all gonna go to sleep? What?
No, not
No,
sleep.
I-
We just want to relax them.
Right.
We don't know if that's going to help us. We don't know what to do, but
No, it might work.
anything's worth
Like,
a try.
I've heard his songs. They're pretty good. I feel pretty relaxed. What do we do when we have them relaxed though? Is there like a stage 2, like part 2, plan B?
Part
Well,
2,
plan B is only if
is-
it doesn't work.
make friends with them. Part 3 is once we're friends with them, lead them to the ravine. Like
Oh,
trails
okay.
of food.
All right. Well,
With the horse feed.
I haven't thought much past that, if I'm honest.
well, yeah. No, I'll take some horse feet. I'll try it if someone else wants to help.
I'm going to
Yeah,
be
we
trying
can
to
spread
help.
out in the field and everyone can kind of give it a go.
I know, but you can't exactly lure them if you're still trying to soothe them, can you?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we've got 3 other people and some scouts. We've got
I'll
plenty.
hold the feed. It's fine. I'll like do a little bit of a trail thing.
Right. Okay.
I guess me and Callan are going to be trying to keep them calm.
Mm.
Why did you laugh?
I
It's not
didn't
funny.
laugh. I went
Oh. What?
because
Stop
I'm
that.
thinking.
Well, I mean, if we're doing it
Can-
like we're herding cattle, you could flank them.
Do I look like a
You just
cattle
said you were
dog?
intimidating.
And you said I wasn't.
Well, I laughed actually.
Kozar, are you really trying to argue with Persephone?
No, I'm trying to make sure she doesn't die. That's the end goal usually.
Okay, are you trying to use logic on Persephone?
Yes. I see your point actually. Never mind.
You guys are so mean to me. She's
Okay,
like
well-
It's a
fully
form of
proud.
Okay,
affection,
well,
love.
how about you help Nim lure them, and I will go and flank them and try and scare them off.
Yes. Let's do that, and I will also try and lure them or calm them down. But please, everyone can have like a couple minutes of quiet, and I want to listen out to like the noises that they're making.
Okay. It's a
La
lot
la
of
la 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 la. You bitch.
it's a lot of screeching mainly,
Okay.
like eagles.
Caca.
Okay, can I ask a DM question for a second?
Yes, you may.
Could I try and talk to Erendor in this moment to see if he can help out at all?
Yes. Roll me a percentile dice, please.
Remind me what the percentile one is again.
Come on,
It's
bird boy.
it's a
D100.
a D100.
There we go. That is a 28. God, I am rolling really low today.
How are you trying to contact him? What is happening?
I think it would just be like reaching out for a bit of assistance, because like it seems like although we've done a bit of planning, this could go very, very wrong. And with their natural connection to wanting to preserve creatures like this and
Mhm.
making sure that they're out of harm, that he might be able to help, even if it's a case of showing his presence and scaring them in the right direction or that sort of thing. He's kind of just like Hail Marying it and just hoping that there's something else that we can come up with as a backup plan if need be.
Okay. I'd say roll it again. I'd say you get advantage with that. If you get above 50, then he will be able to help.
90, bitch.
Holy fuck!
Oh,
Nice.
Okay, as Kozar sort of jumps off the cart and like, he slaps you on the back and he's like, "Come on, Owlboy, keep up," and then walks off. And as he turns to look at you, your cape expands into like this Moon Knight-esque version where it just elongates and the feathers get bigger and brighter, and it's not quite wings because it's all one piece, but they begin to glow as the aura around you also glows. And there's just like a slow shimmering line around you.
Nice of you to lend a hand there, bud. It's been a while. So, but they see me as like a predator or a...
They'd be wary of
presence
you at
right now.
least, yeah. They'd be very wary of you.
Okay. So I might be able to corral them a little bit better into a certain chokehold. Have we got somewhere in mind already, or because I know we were planning on luring them in slowly for
That,
stuff before? Or...
That's a good point. We need to know where the ravine is, where we need to lead them.
Because if you guys can lure them into the general vicinity, I can get up behind them and just look intimidating, I guess.
However, they
I'm
also
not
need
really
to
sure how
settle there.
how this works, to be honest. I haven't done this stuff before that often. Just
So
kind of winging it.
Bright Knife tells you that the ravine isn't too far away. It's further north, and all you would need to do is guide them enough to lure them down that way. And once they notice the lush greenery that hasn't been affected, then they can get over that way.
Okay. Keenan will then partner up with someone who's got horse food. Walk in that general direction, and then start making hippogriff calls to kind of, you know, like you would to attract animals. He's going to try and imitate them and like attract them to where they're going with the food.
Okay. So for anyone who is luring or trying to convince them to follow, it will be a animal handling. Keenan, I need you to roll a performance, obviously, to try and soothe them. And me and Kaelin will have to do intimidation checks.
I would
Kaelin,
like to.
you will roll with advantage.
Thank God, because I have a +0.
I would like to help Keenan because I'm proficient with the fiddle.
Okay, yeah, you can join us.
Excellent, yeah.
So you can either roll separately or give each other advantage. Me and Ben will obviously have to roll separately because he already has advantage.
16 for me.
Since I'm luring now, I rolled a nat 20.
Hey, let's go.
Hey. What would you prefer, Pipkin?
I have a +4. You have a +6 or 8 for performance.
I have a +9.
+9. Probably best if it gives you
Jesus
advantage then.
Christ.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll give Stephanie advantage. So.
I mean, I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah. I'm like, do I roll now or do I just?
No. She's rolling that 20.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. Cool.
I know we're luring them with food, but
So I rolled a dirty 20
Give
on
me
the
a cuddle.
performance.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. So how we're going to do it is we're going to start off with Keenan. And I'm actually going to turn the tables. And I want you to describe what happens and how you're doing it. And we're going to lead on to the next person. So collaboratively, you are all going to tell the story of how you all as a group move them. I know, it's crazy. So we'll start off with Keenan and Pipkin. And you guys can just talk amongst yourselves of what happens. So whoever wants to start off, you can. And then you will defer to your partner what else they do.
So I would imagine Pipkin, we're kind of at the head of this group, like leading the way. And Keenan will start quite lowly and then like kind of like increase the volume on these calls and then almost try and make it into a bird song type thing, but with hippogriff sounding to attract them. I imagine because you said you're proficient with the flute that you're then adding like tunes with that to get the melody going.
Yeah, so with a fiddle, and I will try and match your tune. I'm kind of good at improvising due to all my pub endeavors and entertainment value that I usually bring. So
We
I'm
do kind of like a riff off each other and feeding in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pipkin, describes to me what the hippogriffs do.
I think the hippogriffs, they'll probably, I see them tilting their head like in shocking motions. God, this is hard. And they will be interested and curious mostly, and sort of circle around in the air. But very, very mellowy.
Love it. Absolutely. And we move on to our people luring. Hiccups is going to be right back. So she will have to think of what the hippogriffs do. But Nim, what are you and Persephone doing to entice them to follow you?
I'd say we've got like a bucket each of horse feed, and we're kind of like, as they start being curious and looking at what we're doing, kind of getting handfuls and like scattering it in front of us and kind of like walking back, trying to make sure that they can see that like we're giving out the food and kind of throwing it, but not like, I think like we'd be cautious to keep enough to be able to lure them far enough so that we don't like dump a whole bucket out and be like, there you go, kind of thing. Like, we're trying to leave a bit of space in between spreading it so we can make sure we can get them like interested for long enough to move far enough.
Okay. A lot of them do land. In fact, all of them do. And are slowly moving their heads, picking up pieces, following you. Only because Hiccups can't be here right now. And also she rolled a nat 20, so something else is going to happen. Because on ability checks, nat 20s still work, you doofuses. And I will argue anyone, because it's my game. Fuck you. Anyway.
Highest roll or best result.
Yeah. But as they're following Persephone, you move around. Seth, you trip over something. And looking back, there is... And you do see some of them are a little bit wary and move around it. One of them takes to the sky and flies towards where Kalanthar is. In the wrong direction. What you tripped over is the body, slowly decomposing, maybe 2 or 3 days old, of a hippogriff with a crossbow bolt in its side. And as you're scattering feed, there's a soft nudge as an almost miniaturized size version of a hippogriff is just gently nudging. You can see they have, whereas most of these have gloriously great plumage, this one has scatterings of small feathers beginning to grow. It seems very unsteady on its feet and is taking the feed from your hand as you're leading him and the rest with Nim towards this ravine.
Daddy, can we keep him? Follow me home.
Kaelin, describe to me
I'm your mother now.
what happens as you and Kozar have to quickly try and intimidate the fuck out of this rogue hippogriff.
The rogue one, okay. I think I would, kind of as you would do with a bear, just get as big as possible with my like inflamed wing that I've got going on at the minute with Erendor's help and my aura farm that's going on at the minute, I guess, and have Kozar just probably scream or shout as loud as he can, and like we'll try and imitate being like a larger beast that it can move away from in the general direction that we need it to go.
Okay. You watch as Kozar begins to throw up his hands and sort of wave them and begin shouting, trying to get him to move on, but the hippogriff turns and goes towards him. As you react, and you see this cape elongate and stop the hippogriff in its tracks as it sees this beautiful silvery light and banks off towards the rest of its flock, herd, same thing. You do notice that in doing so, you ran and jumped a little bit, and for a moment it was almost like time was slowing down as you're leaping, but you realize that Kozar's still moving at normal speed, and you are a good 20 feet off the ground, midair, before you land back.
Have that millisecond in my head. I can fly. Oh no!
It's gliding with
Never
style.
fall.
It's gliding with style. But there is like a sparking. It's not like fire. It's like when you see the glint of sunlight off a coin. Just this, and you feel more of Erendor return. Almost in embracing him, you've managed to unlock something. And they all begin to move towards the ravine. A couple fly down, seeing what appears to be more verdant greenery. No creatures or anything in it, but at least some refuge amidst this poison earth. Kozar's like, oh my god. Persephone,
Yes.
the hippogriff that is feeding from you, the baby,
Mm-hmm.
looks nothing like the others. And you ascertain that it has no parents.
Did it look like the one that was obviously it was rotting?
Yes, so where the others have like beautifully white and silver plumage, this one is like a dappled black and silver.
And it doesn't follow them down into the ravine.
It's
it
still
stays.
feeding from you.
She's going to. How tall is it? Said it was smaller than the others.
It's a
but
yeah, so
compared
it's
to,
about the whereas hippogriffs are quite large, about 17 hands, 18 hands in terms of horses. This one is I was gonna say a filly, but it's not because it's a hippogriff. It's a baby hippogriff, so it's just smaller than the big ones. So I'd say it's about chest height with you, maybe a little bit lower.
Okay. She's gonna with one hand be feeding it and the other hand's gonna like very gently and cautiously, slowly go towards its like head to see if it's gonna let her touch it.
Mhm.
And she's just gonna like run her fingers through like the top of its head and just stroke it gently. Like for a moment, she's just the rest of the world is gone. She's just in this moment humming some tune she heard her mother hum, just like basically mothering this small orphan.
Okay, I need you to roll another animal handling, and I will say you have advantage with your little song, because Keenan is still playing, and Pipkin.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
It is content. There is not an ounce of hostility left. Doesn't move, just stays where it is.
Stephanie, like, just she'll stay like that for a while until she hears or notices someone else move, and then she'll be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. And she's like just obsessed. Like, and she's like, it doesn't have it. It's mum. It doesn't. I don't know if it's so above table.
Yes.
I used to live on a farm, and quite often, when mother animals lost their, like, they either died or they sort of declined. I don't know, like rejected their children. They wouldn't be accepted by the rest of the herd. They'd be like neglected. And is that the case for this?
Oh, very much so.
Okay. She's gonna say, I think if we leave it, it's going to die.
And is the lizard lady still with us?
I would say she was probably like keeping her distance until they all moved. So yeah, I'd say she would have rejoined you now.
She will look at Bright Knife and say, I can't keep it, can I? I can't.
They
Be its
require
mother.
a lot of care, I would assume, same as horses.
But I can't leave it.
I mean, you could. I could take care of it until you come back.
You would?
Of course. You know, hippogriffs raised in captivity, my ancestors used to do this. They are quite a faithful companion. Even a mount, sometimes. They tell stories of, in Ixalora there are elves who ride, not hippogriffs, but they use them as mounts in times of war. And from all
Okay.
things considered, who knows? Could be a war soon.
You said you'd take care of them, but where can I find you? This isn't where you live, in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I have my farm. And she
You have a
points at
farm?
that building that was off to one side. Quite a large but higgledy-piggledy built. It looks like various different styles of buildings, so it has been there a while.
Okay. She is going to sort of bend over a little bit and kiss the top of its head. And then she's going to rest her forehead against it, and she's going to have just a moment of silence and say, I don't know what to call you. Do you have a name? Are you a girl? Are you a boy?
Just chaps.
And then she's gonna smile and say, it doesn't matter. And after her recent prayer, I guess, to her mother, she's gonna say, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna call you Indigo. Which was her mother's name.
It was.
And she's gonna scratch under its chin and then say, you are going to stay with this lovely lady for a while, but I will be back, and I will be back for you. And she's going to hand some of the horse feed, even though she's got a farm, she's going to hand it over to her. And she's going to sort of guide Indigo over, so they sort of warm up to each other.
It does seem amenable. There is some sort of lingering familiarity with not only with Persephone, but everyone. You all have a moment where it brushes up against you or wanders the wrong way. Maybe one of you guides it back.
The baby.
It's a baby.
I do believe that baby imprinted on you, Persephone.
On all of us. Thank you. Not you, Bright Knife. Thank you for offering to take care of it.
I will.
She like clears her throat.
I will do my best because they grow fast. But if I am not good, I will find someone who is for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You have made sure that my lands do not stain with blood, so
We will make sure we get I know it could be a few days, but we will make sure that we get someone to purify the land and the water here too.
As you're all talking and sort of getting ready to leave, she does hand over the coded map. It is written in Thieves' Cant, but after some time, Kozar is pretty sure he might be able to teach Keenan, given enough time. We're talking maybe 10
Excellent.
weeks amount of time.
Yeah.
It's almost like the same as downtime. Crazy.
Crazy that.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "The road ahead is not just dust and stone. If you listen, you will hear voices in the wind. Voices that do not serve the merchants or the nobles or the thieves." And she indicates at Keenan and Kozar. And they're both like, "What?
Us?
What?" And they are waiting. And I suggest once you get to Dalram, you keep your ears open. And you're all talking, and you can, in the distance, see a slowly blooming dust cloud of horses. And you spy the something regiment of the thingy. The Scouts of the 6th Northern Nivelier Brigade. Fucking hell. As they ride up and join you, and they're like, "Oh, are we going? Shall we pop off?"
I guess.
And
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
area's clear, no? Don't see why not.
as we prepare to leave, and you guys move along the right trail this time, winding through the next mesa, the wind shifts suddenly, and on the horizon, a small dust storm begins to sweep across the land. We leave with this very ominous scene of the party moving towards potentially an impending doom that they are completely unaware of at the moment. And we shift to an emerald dragonborn with a young hippogriff, as she sort of gets nudged in the butt, and they're walking towards the farm as the sun begins to set. I think you will make a good mount for her. And we will leave it there. Thank you very much for telling an interesting story that I didn't see coming. We will join you next week, not tomorrow, for another episode of the Stormcaller's Fury. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week.
See you
Say
next
bye,
week,
guys.
everyone.
See you next week, everyone.
Bye.
Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady.